Imagine being reborn in a fantasy world teeming with monsters and hunters. You'd think it's your big break, until you realize your family in this realm is flat broke. Somehow you awaken a system and become a beast tamer. Great, right? Except, you can't afford a beast because, well, you're still broke. Finally, you get your hands on a beast, but it turns out to be just your pet turtle. On the bright side, your girlfriend is both super hot and super rich. This sounds interesting, right? Well, this is the roller coaster life of our protagonist. Armed with a turtle and dating out of his league, how on earth will he navigate this wild world? Before we dive into our tale, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. It's easier than taming dragons, I promise. This story takes place in Zhengzhou City on May 20th, 2024. Like in many MMORPG games and Manhwa, a huge purple portal opened in the sky. A loud alarm sounded, announcing that another space rift had appeared above Zhengzhou. Monsters emerged from the portal and began attacking the citizens. A team of superpowered humans, much like the Avengers, arrived to fight these monsters. They were the 3rd Division of the Korean Defense Force, known as Hunters. These Hunters possessed powers like super strength, super speed, elemental control, and more. The Hunters joined the battlefield and started killing the monsters, quickly gaining the upper hand. However, a powerful gold-tier monster appeared, the Wolf King of the 6-eared wolf tribe. After killing a powerful hunter, it looked at the humans and said, "These insignificant humans are still resisting. Wiping you out is only a matter of time." Saying this, it joined the battle and began killing human soldiers like ants. Nothing survived its claws. The leader of the hunters was shocked to see a gold-tier monster and wondered if this was a high-level portal. The Wolf King laughed and told the hunter's leader that it was too late to realize this. Before they could engage in a battle to the death, someone appeared at high speed. It was a high-ranking official who asked the 3rd Division Hunter Group to leave the Wolf King to him and go handle the other monsters. This high-ranking officer was Mr. Wenyuan, and his presence motivated all the hunters. The battle between the Wolf King and Mr. Wenyuan began. After clearing the portal, the 3rd Division Hunter leader returned to report to her superior. She reported that with Mr. Wenyuan's help, they successfully defeated the invading 6-eared demon wolf tribe. Her superior praised her for her work, but was worried because this was yet another new rift, and it was still only a C-class one. This was the 6th one in the past 10 years. He feared that at this rate, Zhengzhou wouldn't hold out for long, though it was beyond their control. The superior announced that starting this year, Wuda Martial Academy would exempt awakened individuals from cultural exams, and the academic admission score for martial artists would be cut in half. He ordered the 3rd Division Hunter leader to check on the academy's progress. At Wuda Martial Academy, the bell rang, signaling the end of the first class. A boy noticed his friend daydreaming and asked why he wasn't paying attention again. He teased him, saying that if he failed to get into Wuda Academy due to low academic scores, it would be embarrassing. His friend, still lost in his daydream, replied that it would be amazing to sit next to a beauty like Yanran. The girl he was referring to was Lin Yanran, the top beauty of the academy. While everyone's attention was on her, her attention was focused on our protagonist, seated next to her. Yanran smiled and asked him, since graduation was approaching, if he planned to attend the Literary Academy, or Wuda Academy. Our protagonist, Su Bai, lost in his books, replied that he didn't know. He explained that if he went to the Literary Academy, his grades were only average. Besides, in these chaotic times, what use were foreign languages and advanced mathematics? And if he chose Wuda Academy, his family wasn't wealthy enough to afford all the supplements. Plus, he had no special abilities or talents, and was wondering himself where he should go. Su Bai was frustrated, thinking that since he had crossed into another world, he should have some kind of fate-altering opportunity, or awakened system. Yes, you heard it right. He was from another world, but he was beginning to doubt whether he had even transmigrated at all. Yanran, with her gentle voice, called Su Bai and suggested, "Why don't you join me in applying to the Literary Academy? I have a way to guarantee your admission." "What?" Su Bai asked in shock. Yanran asked him to keep his voice down. Just as she said that, a system window popped up in front of Su Bai's eyes. He was shocked, wondering what this was and how it just appeared. The system was bound to him as the host, displaying his stats. His species was Ordinary Initial Stage. He was currently level 18 and 18 years old. His stats showed 4 points in physique, 5 in agility, and 5 in mental strength. He had a trainer trait, meaning he could use any living being as a trainee, and the system would automatically detect suitable contracts. His current trainable limit was 1. His talent was evolution, allowing infinite evolution for all contracted trainees, with no upper limit to level progression, even breaking through racial limits. The trainee's hidden values and abilities would feed back to him, with higher levels providing a greater feedback ratio. Known levels were categorized as ordinary, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, lord tier, mid-tier, and divine, with each level having initial, intermediate, and advanced stages. Seeing this information, Subai realized that this was his system. Yanran, confused, saw Subai staring into the air and asked if he was okay. From her reaction, he understood that no one else could see it except him. He grabbed Yanran's hand and told her he was fine. Yanran blushed when he touched her hand, but all the boys in the class became angry, shouting for Subai to get his filthy paws off their goddess. One particularly angry guy shouted, "Subai, watch how I'll teach you a lesson." But a beautiful teacher stepped in, asking everyone to calm down, and just her words were enough to settle the class. The teacher announced, "I have good news. Zhengzhou Martial Academy just posted on their website that, starting with your class, awakened individuals are exempt from cultural exams and can directly enroll in Zhengzhou Martial Academy. Students with preliminary martial artist physiques will also have their academic requirements cut in half." Hearing this, the whole class cheered with excitement, thinking they could definitely get into Wu Da Academy now. As the class ended, the teacher asked students who had already awakened abilities or had a martial foundation to come to her office to register. Hearing the news, Subai thought, "This is interesting. I just got my abilities, and I'm already exempt from exams to get into Wu Da Academy." Seeing him deep in thought, Yanran wondered if he was really considering Wu Da Academy. The scene then shifted to outside, where Subai was walking home. He appeared normal on the outside, but Subai had something that set him apart. He was not originally from this world. He had transmigrated into this strange world 17 years ago. In this world, on September 18, 1906, a massive space rift had suddenly appeared in the sky. From this rift emerged countless strange beasts that soon rampaged everywhere. Armies from various countries fought against these alien creatures, and it took 3 months to eliminate the beasts from the rifts. However, as long as the rifts remained, new batches of alien beasts would periodically emerge. To counter this, humanity decided to send death squads into the rifts to explore. They discovered a vast, boundless land beyond the rifts, and to prevent the endless flow of alien beasts, military forces from various countries constructed bases within the sky rifts to defend against the beasts at their source. A new era for humanity officially began. On March 6, 1907, the second sky rift appeared. On May 7, 1907, the third rift appeared, then the fourth, and then the fifth. Over the following century, the number of rifts increased, and their appearances became more frequent. Now, rifts have spread across the globe, with each one harboring different alien beast species. Scientists named the battlegrounds behind the sky rifts the battlefield of 10,000 races. Meanwhile, Earth's spiritual energy began to recover, and humans gradually awakened martial abilities and supernatural powers. As the battles intensified, conventional weapons frequently failed on the battlefield, while the power of awakened individuals grew. Eventually, they replaced traditional weapons as the dominant force. The war between humanity and the 10,000 races continues to this day. Judging from the reforms at Zhengzhou Martial Academy, Subai sensed that the situation in Zhengzhou had become quite dire. "Since I've got this system now, I might as well use it to protect my family in this chaotic world." He knew that if he wanted to quickly enhance his strength, the fastest way was through the military-supported martial academies. Luckily for him, he had awakened the trainer ability. With just one trained beast, he could get into the academy without taking the exam. Looking at his balance, he hoped that the 2,000 yuan he had saved over the years would be enough. When he entered a beast shop, he noticed there was no system notification, leaving him confused. The system had said it would automatically detect something suitable, so why was there no reaction? A shop staff member welcomed him and asked how she could help. Subai told her he was a beast trainer and asked what kinds of beasts they had. Pointing at a black cat, the staff member told him, "It's pretty ordinary but high-priced. It has the bloodline of a nether cat and can easily reach the silver rank. It's selling for 36,000. Subai was shocked at how expensive one ordinary black cat was. The staff member then showed him a 4-eared dog with the bloodline of the 6-eared demon wolf, selling for just 33,000. She showed him many beasts one after another, and with each beast, the price kept increasing. Finally, she turned to Subai and asked which one he thought was best for him. But when she turned around, Subai was nowhere to be found. He had left the shop thinking, "Are they robbing me? Just because it has a bit of beast bloodline, it's this expensive? And where's my system? Isn't there anything suitable for me here?" Disappointed, he returned home. Just as he entered, a system notification appeared, saying, "Detected a suitable beginner taming creature. Little turtle, do Do you want to tame it? Subai was surprised that the system was finally responding. When he saw the name Little Turtle, he looked over at his dad's pet turtle, wondering if that was the creature the system was referring to. Immediately, the turtle's information popped up. It's tamed beast. Name is Little Turtle. Common level initial stage beast. It has traces of the Xuanwu turtle bloodline and can grow infinitely and eventually slay gods. Its average attributes, such as constitution, defense, spirit, and speed is 2. Its ability is turtle shell defense and eating is its evolution method. Subai was intrigued by the system's response and the potential of this little turtle. Subai was shocked to discover that his little turtle had profound, limitless growth potential, ultimately leading to the slaying of gods. He jumped in happiness, shouting, "Now that's more like it. How much would this be worth? I'm not trading it, no matter what." He was thrilled, but his happiness didn't last long. Because he was making so much noise, his sister, Suxia, came out of her room. When she saw him holding the little turtle like that, she angrily shouted, "Subai, what are you planning to do with little 8? That's Dad's treasure." Subai quickly let go of the turtle and told her he hadn't done anything. Just as he released it, the turtle immediately jumped into a grocery bag, eating all the food from the bag in an instant. Both Subai and his sister were shocked by the little glutton. Suxia asked Subai why the turtle was eating so much, especially since they had just fed it that morning. Watching it devour everything, Subai remembered the system notification and realized that the turtle's appetite had increased and that it might be evolving. He told his sister he was going to find it more food. Half an hour later, Subai's mother and father came home, shocked to see the state of the house. They asked Subai if the house had been robbed. In just half an hour, the little turtle had eaten all the food in the house and was now chasing Suxia for her last snack. Subai's father was too shocked and asked him, "Is this really our little turtle? Can turtles run this fast?" Subai then explained what was happening. The entire house had turned upside down in just half an hour. This situation made Subai think, Dad and Mom already have a hard time as it is. I'd better not tell them little 8 is a bottomless pit. He decided to handle it himself. Meanwhile, after devouring everything in the house, the little turtle finally stopped. Suxia was very angry at it, but as the turtle seemed satisfied, a huge robotic turtle form suddenly appeared from its body. Subai was shocked and asked, "Is this glutton finally full, or is it about to awaken its bloodline?" The scene then shifts to day 2. Little Turtle's explosive growth had come and gone, but its Xuanwu bloodline still hadn't awakened, and it had started eating even more. This was why Subai had come back to the pet shop again. When he entered, there were already 2 guests inside. When the shop staff member saw Subai, she asked if he had decided on what he wanted. He told her he wasn't here to buy this time. Getting closer to the staff member, he said, "I have exotic beast blood. Are you guys buying?" The staff member was shocked and asked him to confirm if he really had exotic beast blood. Hearing the words beast blood, one of the guests said goodbye to the other guest and immediately approached Subai. That man was the shop owner. He told the staff member to leave it to him and take care of other tasks. He then approached Subai and said, "Young man, come this way, and let's sit down for a chat. You said you have exotic beast blood. Do you mind if I examine it?" Subai handed him the beast blood and told him to go ahead. When the pet shop owner smelled the beast blood, he was shocked. "It's really exotic beast blood, and high quality too," he exclaimed. He asked Subai how much he wanted for it. Subai thought that it took so much effort to draw that small amount of blood from Little Turtle, so it had to be worth at least $100, right? But before he could say $100, the shop owner offered him $1,000. "What, $1,000? Subai responded in shock. Seeing his reaction, the shop owner misunderstood, thinking Subai was angry at the low price and actually knew how much it was worth. Laughing, the shop owner said, "Just a joke. Such a high-quality product is, of course, worth $10,000. In shock, Subai shouted, $10,000? The shop owner misunderstood again, thinking Subai was getting angry at the low price, and raised the offer to $15,000. Subai was stunned and covered his mouth, thinking, who would have guessed that Little Turtle is so valuable? It's getting difficult to keep my smile hidden. He turned around to hide his excitement and said, "Fine, it's a deal. If I didn't need the money, I wouldn't sell it at all." After getting the money, he left the shop, with the shop owner personally seeing him off and saying, "Take care, young friend. If you come across such good stuff again, you're always welcome to come to me." Walking away, Subai looked at his balance and was thrilled. He hadn't thought exotic beast blood was worth so much. 15,000 had just fallen into his lap like that. Little Turtle could be proud of himself this time. While he was walking, he suddenly got a call from his teacher, Ms. Lee. She told him that the results for cultural studies had just been released, And there was also an important announcement. She asked him to please drop by the school that afternoon to fill out his application form, and not to be late. Subai tried to ask Ms. Lee what the important announcement was, but there was no reply. Actually, it wasn't that she didn't reply. It was because Subai's old phone had no signal again. While talking, Subai hadn't noticed that he had wandered into an alleyway. Suddenly, a system warning notification popped up in front of him, telling him that there were 3 people nearby who bore great ill intent toward the host. They were currently within 10 meters. The notification read that Enemy 1's level is Beginner Cultivator. Enemy 2's level is Ordinary Person. Enemy 3's level is Ordinary Person. Subai was shocked to see the notification, and when he turned around, he saw 3 people behind him with weapons. He had been marked by thugs. The leader of the thugs was the same guy Subai had seen in the pet shop talking to the owner. The thug leader demanded that Subai hand over his belongings, assuming that, judging by the pet shop owner's attitude, Subai must have something valuable on him. Subai felt unlucky, but told the thugs that he had gone to the shop to sell something, not to buy. However, Subai had no intention of handing over the money. He thought that if the thug leader was only at the level of a beginner cultivator, he stood a chance. The thug leader insisted, telling Subai to just hand over the money. Subai replied, "Fine, I'll hand over the money," and took his little turtle out of the bag, instructing it to retract into its shell. Immediately, little turtle hid in its shell, and Subai threw it like a rock at the thug leader. The thug leader used his baseball bat to defend himself, angrily shouting, "You little bastard!" But before he could attack, Subai quickly moved and kicked the thug leader in the groin, nearly incapacitating him. The thug leader fell to the ground in pain. The other 2 thugs were shocked to see their leader like that, and chased after Subai, shouting, "How dare you touch our boss!" Subai and Little Turtle immediately ran away. While running, Subai asked his turtle if the baseball bat hurt him. Little Turtle replied that it just felt itchy. It couldn't speak human language, but Subai could now understand its words. The 2 thugs caught up and lunged at Subai. Seeing them close, Subai asked Little Turtle to latch onto his fist. Little Turtle immediately latched on, and Subai used it like a boxing glove, punching one thug in the face and sending him flying. Then, he turned around and smashed the 3rd thug's face into the ground. The thug leader, still in pain, managed to stand up and said, "You little bastard, I'm gonna kill you." Seeing him get up, Subai asked Little Turtle to get back into its shell. Little Turtle immediately hid in its shell, and Subai, with full force, threw it at the thug leader, hitting him directly and knocking him out in one hit. After defeating all of them, Subai picked up his bag and warned them not to mess with him. But suddenly, he noticed Little Turtle rummaging through the thug leader's belongings. Little Turtle found a bottle and immediately started drinking from it. Seeing this, Subai ran toward Little Turtle shouting, "What are you drinking? Did you find something good?" He snatched the bottle from Little Turtle to check it. It turned out to be a chi blood potion worth tens of thousands. Suddenly, Little Turtle started experiencing difficulty, and its body began to glow. The potion was enough for a cultivator to absorb over a whole month, but Little Turtle had consumed it all in one go. Subai worried whether Little Turtle could even digest it, but then he was surprised. Not because of Little Turtle, but because his own body started glowing as well. He felt an intense surge of strength. He immediately checked his status window and found that he was now a mid-stage ordinary level hunter. His level had increased along with that of his tamed beast. His constitution was now 16, with a base attribute value of 10 points and 6 attribute points inherited from his tamed beast. He now had 2 talents. The first was evolution, which allowed his tamed beast to undergo unlimited evolution, with no limit to its grade, even up to the mythical grade. The attributes and talents of his tamed beast would be inherited by him to a certain extent, with higher grade beasts providing greater inheritance. The second talent was Turtle Skin Defense, which consumed a certain amount of physical energy to activate. When activated, a layer of turtle skin would cover his body, greatly increasing his defense. Subai was surprised to see the amazing effect of the Chi Blood Potion. His attributes had increased significantly, and he had even gained a new talent. Not only did Subai level up, but his little turtle also leveled up. Little Turtle's grade was now mid-stage ordinary, though the Xuanwu bloodline had not yet awakened. However, upon reaching the bronze grade, the bloodline would partially activate, greatly increasing its attributes. From an average of 2, Little Turtle's attributes had increased significantly. Its constitution was now 32, defense was 38, and both agility and spirit were 10. Little Turtle now also had 2 talents. The first was Turtle Shell Defense. When activated, it allowed the turtle to retract fully into its shell, forming a defensive posture that increased its defense by 300%. In this state, It could not move or attack. The second talent was Turtle Skin Defense, which consumed a certain amount of physical energy and increased its defense by 50% to 100%. Subai was shocked to see Little Turtle's body grow larger, with a constitution of 32 and defense of 38. He remembered learning in class that even power-type beasts typically had attributes around 30 when they were high-stage ordinary grade. He couldn't imagine how amazing Little Turtle would be once it awakened, given how powerful it already was without awakening. Little Turtle was very proud of itself. Subai then picked up Little Turtle, saying, "All right, you've eaten your share. Let's leave this place quickly." The scene then shifts to the school. Teacher Lee told the students that the results for cultural studies had been released and that she would be consolidating their application intentions. She also announced that a special recruitment teacher from Wu University would be coming to the school to evaluate candidates for their special abilities. As with last year, there would be 2 guaranteed admission spots. While filling out the application, Yanran asked Subai if he had thought it through, and if he was applying for Wen College or Wu University. Subai told her that it would be Wu University. He was determined to get in. Yanran was shocked and asked, "Subai, didn't I tell you to apply for Wen College with me? Those who enter Wu University must go to the battlefield. Do you know how dangerous that is?" But Subai replied, "There has to be someone who goes to the front lines. So, this suits me just fine." He smiled at Yanran and told her that his reason for going to the front lines was to protect someone important to him. He was referring to his family, but Yanran misunderstood, thinking, "Someone important? Could it be me that Subai is talking about?" Suddenly, a teacher came over and asked Yanran which academy she was applying to. Yanran didn't respond right away. Subai thought she probably hadn't awakened any special abilities and had never trained physically, so she would likely choose Wen College. After some thought, Yanran told the teacher that she hadn't made up her mind yet and wanted to think about it a little longer. Teacher Lee reminded the students that this was a crucial decision for each of them, advising them to take their results home and discuss their choices with their parents. She informed them that they must submit their application intentions by midnight. With that, class was dismissed, and everyone returned home. Later, Yanran returned home, and while she was taking a bath, she called Subai. Blushing, she told him that she had decided to apply to Wu University as well. Subai, who was cleaning his house at the time, was surprised to hear that Yanran had applied to Wu University. He asked her if she was joking, but Yanran replied that she had made her decision and also wanted to send him a surprise. While they were talking, Subai noticed Little Turtle stealing food again. He told Yanran that he had something important to handle and would talk to her later. As soon as he ended the call, he yelled at Little Turtle, calling it a good-for-nothing for eating so much. The scene then shifts to the next day. All the students gathered in the stadium, and Teacher Lee was on stage, warmly welcoming military martial arts instructor Zhang Kai. He was their principal as well as their senior. Instructor Zhang came onto the stage and told the students, "1 year ago, 126 people entered this school, and 65 of them are still alive. 2 years ago, 98 people entered, and only 32 of them are still alive. 3 years ago, 86 people entered, and 11 of them are still alive." Hearing this, all the students felt a chill. Instructor Zhang continued, saying he wasn't trying to scare them, but wanted each one of them to understand that being here was not something to be proud of. They would face myriad challenges: duty, responsibility, danger, and the task of protecting their country. He told the students that Wu Da is a place where the strong are cultivated, and asked if they wanted to be among their ranks. "Yes!" all the students shouted. Instructor Zhang smiled and said, "Very good. I look forward to your performances in the examination." After the speech, the students began returning to their classes, but Teacher Lee asked Subai to stay. She and Instructor Zhang approached him. Confused, Subai asked if there was an issue. Instructor Zhang confirmed his name and then informed him that a space had been reserved for him at Wu Da. He told Subai to head there immediately to prepare for the entrance examination. Subai was shocked to hear that someone like him, a broke student, had a reserved spot. Instructor Zhang confirmed it and mentioned that a vehicle was waiting for him at the school's entrance. Everyone was surprised to hear about Subai's reserved spot. Some complained that it was favoritism, while others were jealous, wishing it were them. Subai took the bus and arrived at Wu Da Academy along with other students. They were all amazed by the academy's grandeur. An instructor was waiting at the entrance and asked the students to follow him. Along the way, the students noticed a huge rock pillar in the center of the academy. The instructor told them that it bore the school's motto. Subai was impressed by the grand motto. The instructor then took them to collect their uniforms and guided them to the dormitories. He showed them the male dormitories and told them they could rest there for a while and change into their uniforms. He informed them that someone would announce the examination time shortly. Subai went to his assigned room, room 303. As he approached, he heard a voice from inside saying, "In the early stages of martial arts training, resources are the most important." Subai announced that he was here, but there was no response. Inside, he found 3 roommates. A red-haired boy took out a bottle and said, "My father managed to purchase 3 drops of extremely rare monster blood at U Mountain. He asked an experienced pharmacist to make it into 3 bottles of top-quality medication. This isn't something you see every day." The other 2 boys were amazed, with one asking, "Is this what rare monster blood looks like? I've never seen it." The other added, "I've bought similar products, but it's also my first time seeing something like this." While they were talking, Subai entered the room. He introduced himself as Subai, who had also been assigned to dormitory 303. The red-haired boy introduced himself as Han Jiagang and said, "So you're Subai. Everyone's here then." He introduced the other 2 boys as Tao Jiajun and Fan Chaoan. Subai said, "It's nice to meet you all." Jiagang smiled and told him he didn't need to be so polite. They were all dorm mates after all. He asked Subai to come over and take a look, explaining that Han Jiagang's father had sent him some rare monster blood. Proudly, Han Jiagang told Subai that his father had to send people all over the country to acquire it. When Subai heard U Mountain and 3 drops mentioned, he wondered if it could be the same blood he sold to the pet shop owner. He asked Han Jiagang if such rare blood was expensive. Han Jiagang boasted, "Not really. Each drop only cost around 30,000, so not even 100,000 in total. It's practically spare change." Hearing it was sold for 90,000, Subai became very angry, thinking, "That slimy bastard. I sold it for 30,000, and he sold it off for nearly 100. Blasted middlemen." While they were talking, a commotion erupted outside. The students from the dormitory were going crazy after spotting a super beautiful girl downstairs. A guy commented that he was voting for her in this year's beauty contest, saying, "That figure, those legs, she's our goddess." When the dormitory warden saw the girl, she asked who she was looking for since this was the men's dormitory. Subai's roommates were amazed, saying, "Wu Da really is something. She's amazing." They all wondered why she came. The girl, as it turned out, was Yanran, Subai's future waifu. She told the warden that she was looking for Subai. The warden turned to the dormitory and shouted, "If there's a Subai, come out! There's a pretty girl waiting for you downstairs." Hearing this, Han Jiagang and the others looked back, surprised that their roommate, Subai, was the one she was looking for. They all swarmed him, amazed at his luck, unable to believe that the school's beauty came just to see him. Fan Chaoan commented, "Brother Subai might be more than he seems." When Subai went downstairs, Yanran complimented him, saying, "Subai, that uniform suits you." She moved closer, adjusted his clothes, and said, "Now you look even more handsome." Subai started blushing with her so close. Seeing Yanran help Subai adjust his clothes, all the boys from the dormitory grew jealous, shouting, "Die, you lucky bastard! Don't lay a finger on our goddess!" Yanran then mentioned the reserved spot at Wu Da and asked if he was upset. Subai told her he wasn't, but he had planned to sit for the test himself. Then he patted her head, saying, "Still, you did it for me, so thank you." Yanran laughed and told him she was worried he'd be angry, but was grateful he thanked her instead. She handed him a bag, saying, "The entrance examination is the day after tomorrow. I prepared some pills for you." Subai, surprised, told her she'd helped him enough, and that she should save them for herself. But Yanran ignored his excuses and ran off after saying goodbye. The students from the dormitory were furious, muttering, "Who is this guy? Did he touch her head? Find out who he is. He's competing for her heart." When Subai returned to his room, Han Jiagang and the others started calling him brother, with newfound respect, surprising him. They started massaging his shoulders, asking, "Who was that goddess?" Confused, Subai asked, "What goddess?" Jiagang chuckled, "Brother, you're too humble. We're talking about the goddess you were just talking to." Subai told them they were high school classmates. Hearing that, Han Jiagang moved closer and said, "Brother Su, since we're dorm mates, I'm sure you could convince that goddess to bring some of her friends over." Subai hesitated before replying. Seeing him hesitate, Han Jiagang suggested that, since it was Subai's first time meeting them, they should take him out for a good dinner and chat. Without waiting for Subai's response, they finalized the plan and told him to rest up and get ready to go out that night. Then they all left the room. Watching them decide on their own, Subai thought, "These guys are really interesting." He then picked up his bag, took out Little Turtle, and let it out to get some fresh air. Checking the bag Yanran had given him, he found a blood essence potion. Little Turtle's eyes lit up at the sight of it. Seeing that Little Turtle liked it, Subai laughed mischievously and asked if it knew what it should do after consuming it. Little Turtle, scared of Subai's expression, seemed hesitant. Later, Subai and his roommates went to a high-end hotel. Seeing the place, Subai asked Han Jiagang, "Don't you think coming to such a fancy hotel is a bit too much?" Han Jiagang laughed and told Subai to relax and enjoy himself, leaving the rest to his brothers. In the room, Han Jiagang raised his glass, saying, "I, Han Jia, feel extremely lucky to have met you all at Wuda, especially an amazing person like Brother Su. A toast to you all." Subai asked them to take a seat, saying, "Since we're all dorm mates, there's no need to be so formal." Once they settled down, Subai told Han Jiagang that he was high school classmates with Lin Yanran, so he could probably arrange for her to introduce some of her friends, but they could discuss that in the future. Subai then told Han Jiagang that he needed his help. Han Jiagang asked, "What do you need help with?" Subai took out a vial of red blood essence and placed it on the table, saying, "It's not a big deal, really. I just have some rare monster blood and would like your help with it." Both Jiajun and Fan Chao were shocked to see it. Looking at the potion, Jiajun said, "Han Jia, Brother Su's monster blood seems to be of even better quality than yours." Han Jiagang examined the vial and told Subai that this blood was better than anything he had ever seen. Han Jiagang pulled out his smartphone, telling Subai that the blood was extremely rare and that he would call his father to send someone over to evaluate it. Subai told him not to rush and suggested they enjoy their meal first, but Han Jiagang had already dialed his father's number. When Han Jiagang's father answered, he immediately began nagging, "Little Jia, you've burned through your pocket money again, haven't you? I sent you to Wu Da to get stronger, not to waste time." Han Jiagang quickly cut in, "Dad, I don't want money. This is serious. My classmate has 7 drops of precious rare monster blood that he wants to sell. It's of even higher quality than the 3 drops you got last time, so I couldn't decide on a price." "What? 7 drops?" his father asked in shock. "Are you sure it's better quality than last time?" Han Jiagang confidently invited his father to come and see it himself. Hearing his son's certainty, his father said, "Send me your location. I'll send Master Chao over immediately." An hour later, Han Jiagang's father arrived with Master Chao. When Master Chao examined Subai's monster blood, he remarked, "This is simply exquisite. It's the purest monster blood with the highest energy content I've ever seen. I could make incredible things with this." Han Jiagang's father looked surprised and asked, "Master Chao, isn't that a bit of an exaggeration?" Master Chao replied, "Not at all. Even with the best equipment, the value of this blood would only increase." Han Jiagang, amazed, exclaimed, "Damn! Brother Su, who knew your monster blood was this OP?" Master Chao approached Subai and, with respect, said, "Young man, what's your price for this monster blood?" Subai told him that his friend had advised that this blood shouldn't be sold for money, only exchanged for blood essence of equivalent value. Hearing this, Han Jiagang's father said, "Subai, since you're classmates with little Jia and I'm your senior, I wouldn't dream of shortchanging you. I'll take it all, and you'll get 14 bottles of blood essence in return. How does that sound?" Subai agreed and thanked him. Han Jiagang's father smiled and asked Subai if he would like to join the Han family, promising to provide him with resources for free. Subai thanked him for the offer but explained that he wasn't planning on joining a family just yet. Han Jiagang's father pressed him to reconsider, but suddenly, a loud voice came from outside. It was Yanran, who opened the door and said, "Subai said he didn't want to join a family, so no one is allowed to force him." She was visibly angry and asked Han Jiagang's father if he understood. Subai was surprised to see Yanran there and asked her why she had come. Yanran replied that she was there to settle her own business, but hadn't expected to run into him. Seeing Yanran's attitude, Han Jiagang's father grew angry, but Master Chao quickly intervened and informed him of Yanran's background. Han Jiagang's father was shocked and frightened upon learning her background. He quickly explained to Yanran that it was all a misunderstanding, saying that Subai and his son were just classmates and good friends. Hearing this, Yanran calmed down and asked Subai if he was heading back to school, suggesting they go together. Since Subai had finished his business, he agreed, said goodbye to everyone, and left with Yanran. Watching them go, Han Jiagang called out, saying he was going back to school as well, and started to follow, but his father stopped him. Han Jiagang's father advised him to build a good relationship with Subai, because the Han family's future might depend on it. He also instructed him to keep a safe and respectful distance from Lin Yanran. Han Jiagang was stunned, realizing that his friend Subai and the goddess Yanran were indeed very impressive. 2 days later, at the military training field at Marshall University, all the freshmen gathered on the university grounds. Instructor Zhang addressed the students, announcing that over the next few days, they would participate in freshman special training, which would take place in the battlefield of all races. Hearing this, many students were scared, asking if they were really going to the battlefield of all races for training. fearing it was far too dangerous. Failing the training was one thing, but losing their lives was another. Instructor Zhang reassured them, saying the area designated for their training had already been cleared, and that the instructors would ensure their safety. He continued, explaining that they would be divided into groups of 50, each led by a bronze-level instructor, who would act as their homeroom teacher and assign their training tasks. He wished all the freshmen a victorious return. After the announcement, Yanran came running to Subai, very excited, and told him they had been assigned to the same class. Subai smiled and asked if she arranged that on purpose. As they talked, a female instructor appeared and called for Class 8 to gather. Class 8 was the group that included Yanran, Subai, and his roommates. The red-haired instructor introduced herself as Liao Yuxin, their special training instructor. All the boys were going crazy over the beautiful instructor. Instructor Liao told them that she would be the one assigning all their training tasks, and their first task was to write a will. The students were shocked to hear this. Instructor Liao explained that they had one day to write their wills and would need to be at the teleport plaza by 8 a.m. the next day, as they would be departing for the battlefield of all races. The students were scared. One student exclaimed, "Is there really a risk to our lives? I still want to carry on the family line." Another said, "I'm going to write my will. There's so much I need to leave for my parents." Hearing this, Yanran asked Subai if he had any plans. He told her he didn't have much to prepare and would head back to the dorm first. While both Yanran and Subai were relaxed, Han Jiagang and the others were anxious. With the battlefield ahead, they felt there was a lot to prepare. When everyone returned to the dormitory, Han Jiagang invited Subai, saying that since they were heading to the battlefield the next day, he was taking the boys out for a good time that night. He asked Subai to join them, but Subai declined, saying he had other things to take care of, and told them to go enjoy themselves. Han Jiagang understood and agreed. As he was leaving, he noticed Subai's little turtle eating in a corner. He patted the turtle and said, "Brother Su, your little pet turtle is something. Its shell is tough." Subai told Han Jiagang that the turtle was named Little 8, but that it had a bit of a gluttonous side. Little turtle didn't like being called a glutton, pouting in response. After that, Han Jiagang and the other two roommates left the room. Meanwhile, Little Turtle finished its plate and asked Subai for more food. Subai said, "You little glutton. All you think about is eating. Fine, I'll let you eat all you want today. But once we're on the battlefield of all races, you'd better perform well." He gave Little Turtle more blood essence, which it immediately drank. Subai laughed and told Little Turtle to slow down, reassuring it that no one would take the food away. As he was feeding Little Turtle, a system notification popped up, congratulating him because his pet, Little Turtle, had leveled up to a high-rank ordinary exotic beast. Due to this, Subai's level had also increased, and Little Turtle had gained a new talent, Heavy Strike. Subai checked the status window and saw that his tamed beast, Little Turtle, was now high-rank ordinary. Its attributes had increased significantly. Physical strength was 64, defense was 78, agility was 20, and mental strength was 20. It now had 3 talents: Turtle Shell Defense, Turtle Skin Defense, and Heavy Strike. The new Heavy Strike talent consumed stamina to increase attack power by 100% to 200%. The more stamina consumed, the stronger the attack. Subai then checked his own status window and found that he had also leveled up to high-rank ordinary. His physical strength was 28, with 15 as his base strength and 13 points inherited from his beast. His agility was 19, and mental strength was 34. He now had 3 talents: Infinite Evolution, Turtle Skin Defense, and Heavy Strike. The new talent worked the same as Little Turtle's, consuming stamina to enhance his attacks. Subai was amazed, realizing that the blood essence was incredibly effective. Little 8 leveled up again, and these stat boosts are insane. He looked at Little Turtle and said, "Nice, Little 8. When we get to the battlefield of all races, let's go all out together." Now, both Subai and his Little Turtle were ready for the battlefield. The next day, all the students gathered in the field. Instructors reported to Chief Instructor Zhang that all trainees were geared up and ready for battle. Chief Instructor Zhang ordered a soldier to open Teleport Formation 1 and prepare for teleportation. The teleport formation activated, ready to transport students to the battlefield of 10,000 beasts. Seeing such a huge teleport formation, the students were amazed, saying, "Only Martial University has something like this." Yanran, feeling worried about Subai, told him to be careful once they were on the battlefield of all races. Subai reassured her, saying they would complete the mission safely. They wished each other good luck and approached the teleportation formation. Instructor Liao advised them to relax their bodies and prepare for teleportation. One by one, the students entered the formation and were instantly transported to the military base within the battlefield of all races. They were surprised by how epic the military base looked and how quickly they arrived. Instructor Liao stood at attention and asked Group 8 to quiet down. She apologized to Lieutenant Hunter, saying, "They're just rookies who haven't seen much." The man in front of her introduced himself as the Deputy Lieutenant of Military Base F-269 and told the students they could call him Deputy Lieutenant or Sir. He continued, "Here, I don't care if you're a student or an instructor. On my turf, you follow my orders." He asked if they understood, and everyone shouted, "Understood, sir." Seeing the lieutenant, Han Jiagang muttered, "So what if he's a deputy lieutenant? What's the big deal?" Subai pointed out the scar on the lieutenant's face, noting it showed he was an experienced officer. The lieutenant then informed the students they were in luck because his team had just returned from a battle. Their first task would be to clean the battlefield and, while doing so, eliminate any remaining phantom cats. He said it was the perfect job for rookies to get their first taste of battlefield experience. With a serious expression, he added that eliminating the phantom cats would earn them military merit points, which could be exchanged at the logistics department for blood vitality powder and various grades of body tempering elixirs to strengthen themselves. Hearing this, Jiajun got excited, exclaiming, "Truly, fortune comes with risk." Han Jiagang added, "No wonder so many risk their lives to come to the battlefield of Myriad clans." Seeing them eager, the lieutenant smiled and said, "You little brats look ready to give it a try. Good. Move out immediately. Follow me." Everyone was thrilled. As they followed the lieutenant, Subai thought to himself that he needed to gather enough military merit points to exchange for elixirs. Little 8 would have a feast as well. The lieutenant first led them to some injured soldiers, explaining that these were the wounded, just back from the battlefield. Seeing the injured soldiers, Jiajun asked if they had been hurt while dealing with the phantom cats. Han Jiagang replied, "No way. Aren't phantom cats the weakest beasts? How could they be so terrifying?" Seeing the injured soldiers, some students grew scared and exclaimed, "Even the weakest phantom cats are this dangerous? How am I going to survive and make it home?" "Enough chatter," Instructor Liao shouted. She asked them if they thought the battlefield of Myriad clans was a playground, reminding them that since they enrolled at Wuda, they must always be prepared to face danger. Yanran, seeing the injured soldiers, was scared and asked Subai to stay close to her once they were on the battlefield, as she didn't want anything to happen to him. Subai, understanding the danger, decided to stay vigilant in the Myriad clan's battlefield and reminded Yanran to be careful too. When they arrived at the gate, a soldier reported to the deputy lieutenant that they were currently executing their assignment to guard the northern gate and that they had killed 35 ferocious beasts attacking the camp that day. The lieutenant praised them for a job well done and ordered them to open the main gate, allowing the recruits to see what the Myriad clan's battlefield truly looked like. At the deputy lieutenant's command, the soldiers opened the main gate. Instructor Liao told the students that with Deputy Commander Hunter leading the team, this was a rare opportunity and encouraged them to make sure to perform well. "Understood, Instructor," everyone shouted. Seeing the students' energy, the lieutenant smiled and said, "Brats, you've all left your wills at the mail depot, right? Because from this moment on, you will be constantly walking with death." When the main gate opened, the students saw soldiers battling fierce beasts. Han Jiagang was amazed, exclaiming, "Is this what a battlefield is like? How gruesome." One of the soldiers fighting the beasts turned around, noticing their captain. He approached, saluted, and asked why the captain had personally come. The lieutenant told him to talk less and assemble a team of soldiers to help protect this batch of students. The soldier replied, "Yes, sir," and left to gather a team. Instructor Liao explained to the students that they would be heading to Area F-260, where there was a patch of forest. Most of the monsters there had already been killed, and their mission was to retrieve the monster cores from the human cats in the area. After the explanation, the lieutenant stepped forward and shouted, "Rookies, are you ready?" "We're ready, sir," all the students replied in unison. Meanwhile, the assembled strike team received orders to follow and protect the students. As they began moving, the strike team leader approached Instructor Liao and assured her there was nothing dangerous about clearing out a battlefield. Laughing, he remarked that sending these newbies to the front lines would be a waste, as they would be like nobodies on the battlefield. He then turned to Captain Fu and asked why he was personally leading the team. Captain Fu replied, "Strike team leader, you talk too much. Don't ask pointless questions." Hearing this, the strike team leader stopped. Instructor Liao thanked Captain Fu for his assistance, and he responded, "It's nothing. These students are all warriors on the battlefield. It's my duty to protect them." Meanwhile, at Didu, the highest military command post in Long, a soldier rushed to report an urgent issue to the senior officer. He informed him that there was a latest report from the battlefield of all races. A large horde of monsters had broken through the defenses. Currently, 12 powerful golden-ranked individuals from the Yuming Cats tribe were involved in the fight, attacking 12 military camps in the southwest, from D128 to D140. The senior officer instructed the soldier to determine the monster's direction and send word to the other camps to prepare for an attack. The new students from Wu Da are entering the battlefield to practice their skills. They are Long's future. They must be protected at all costs. Meanwhile, at Area F-269, all the students arrived at the battlefield they had to clear. Instructor Liao told them that when clearing a battlefield, time was of the essence. Every minute they stayed was another minute they were in danger. Hearing this, everyone immediately got to work. Subai and Yanran were working together. Yanran told Subai that the hides, blood, flesh, claws, and teeth of the Yuming cats could be used to make weapons and medicines. Subai replied, "No wonder so many people would want to come to such a dangerous place. There are rare materials everywhere. My little turtle is going to eat well again." Looking at his inventory, Subai decided he would collect a few more cores and exchange them for blood spirit essence, thinking that would help little turtle level up again. But while checking his inventory, a sudden system warning popped up, alerting him to extreme danger. 164 Yuming cats were rapidly approaching, obviously hostile, and only 3 kilometers away, in the southwest forest. The system advised him to stay on guard, marking the threat as a 5-star high-level threat, with a life-threatening danger level of 4 stars. Subai was shocked, as the last time the system gave him a warning, it was only for a beginner-level martial artist. This was a 5-star life-threatening situation. Seeing Subai's alarmed expression, Yanran asked what was wrong. Without explaining, Subai ran to Instructor Liao, who was in a tree, and told her he sensed a large horde of monsters moving towards them from the southwest. Hearing this, Instructor Liao looked in that direction but saw nothing. She came down angrily and said, "Subai, this is a battlefield, not a playground. Do you know what will happen if you cause mass panic?" Subai tried to explain that he wasn't joking, and that there really was a horde of monsters approaching. Hearing the commotion, Captain Fu came over. Looking sternly at Subai, he said, "Subai, you say you can sense monsters, but I can guarantee there are none within 2 kilometers. Subai insisted, explaining that there were over 100 Yuming cats 3 kilometers away, moving towards them. Captain Fu didn't believe him, and asked if Subai thought his senses were sharper than his own. Instructor Liao told Captain Fu not to waste time on this, suggesting that Subai might be overreacting, as it was his first time on a battlefield. While no one else believed Subai, Yanran did. She told Captain Fu that no one should make a judgment before verifying the truth. Left with no choice, Subai stepped forward and pleaded with everyone to believe him, insisting that the monsters were getting closer. He explained that, as a monster tamer, he had an extraordinary sense for danger. Instructor Liao was surprised to hear that Subai had such a skill. She asked why the school hadn't recorded it. Subai replied that he was guaranteed a place at Wu Da, so his special abilities hadn't been noted. The students were shocked to hear that Subai had special abilities. One guy said, "If Subai has the ability to tame monsters, why haven't I seen anything he's tamed?" While they were talking, a loud noise suddenly came from the southwest. Some students came running, shouting that Yuming cats were indeed approaching. Instructor Liao asked if they were sure, and the students confirmed that a whole lot of them were on their way. Hearing the news, Captain Fu ordered everyone to form a defensive formation. He instructed the messengers to contact the base and request reinforcements. The messenger returned with an update from the base. The surrounding camps were also under attack, so no reinforcements could be sent. Instructor Liao asked Captain Fu if there were truly over 100 Yuming cats, expressing concern that the students couldn't fight them without support. Captain Fu drew his weapon and confirmed that Subai's senses had been accurate. He could now sense the approaching horde of monsters himself. He ordered the strike team leader to assign 4 soldiers to protect the students. Subai, wanting to join the fight, told Captain Fu there was no need to protect him. Suddenly, a Yuming cat, a monster at the early bronze stage, appeared and immediately leaped to attack. Captain Fu and the soldiers started shooting at the monsters, ordering a retaliatory defense to protect the students. However, the regular soldiers were no match for the Yuming cats, which were more like tigers than cats. Nevertheless, Captain Fu and the instructors managed to kill some of them. Captain Fu instructed everyone to stay in their defensive formation, saying, "As long as we can withstand their initial attack, we'll be able to beat them." While they fought, some monsters sneaked past and attacked the students. The strike team leader shouted for the students to watch out. As the monsters closed in, the students raised their shields and chanted, "By the honor burning in my chest, my country will never fall." As they chanted, their bodysuits began glowing, forming a magical barrier around them. Before the monsters could reach the students, two stood at the back and moved forward to take on the attackers. The first student was Jiang Mani, an early bronze stage hunter. She told her partner to keep the monsters restrained while she shot them down. Her partner, Luo Yong, also an early bronze stage hunter, fought with a longsword and told Mani, "It's just a bunch of cats. There's nothing to be scared of. I'll deal with them." Instructor Liao recognized them as the holy archer Jiang Mani and the divinely powerful Luo Yong. She remarked, "This batch of students is really something." Subai was amazed by how powerful and impressive they were, with their advanced weapons, while his only weapon was Little Turtle. Seeing Mani and Luo Yong, the other students grew excited. Jiajun commented, "This blockhead is really powerful. He looks even more formidable than Brother Su." While everyone was focused on Mani and Luo Yong, they didn't notice a soldier struggling with a monster. Suddenly, a loud roar came from the forest, causing everyone to cover their ears. When the sound ceased, a large monster emerged from the forest, and all the Yuming cats knelt before it. The new monster was the king of the Yuming cats, a middle silver stage beast with a constitution of 45, agility of 88, and spirit of 43. Captain Fu was shocked to see the king of the Yuming cats, and couldn't understand why a silver stage cat king had appeared here. He immediately ordered the messenger to contact the base again and request reinforcements. Unaware of the monster's strength, Mani and Luo Yong charged at it. Luo Yong jumped to attack with his sword, while Mani supported him by restricting the monster's vision. When Instructor Liao saw them charging at a silver stage monster, she was terrified and shouted, "Mani, Luo Yong, come back now. This is a silver stage monster, not your plaything." But it was already too late. The king of the cats made its move and struck with its claws, taking down both Mani and Luo Yong in a single attack. They fell to the ground, losing their weapons. Instructor Liao urged them to return, but Captain Fu told her it was too late. He ordered his soldiers to provide cover fire as the king of the Yuming cats leaped again, aiming to strike down the soldiers. The king of the Yuming cats jumped again to strike Mani and Luo Yong, who were injured and unable to defend themselves. However, before it could touch them, something shining green shot through the air at high speed and struck the king of the Yuming cats in the face, sending it flying. Everyone was confused about what had just happened. That green shining object turned out to be Subai's little turtle. Everyone was shocked to see a flying turtle and asked what it was. Instructor Yu explained to the others, "It's a turtle that hit the king of the Yuming cats." When Han Jiagang saw the little turtle, he immediately recognized it as Subai's beast. Subai stepped forward to defend Mani and Luo Yong, saying, "As expected, this entrance is still a bit awkward." He introduced himself as Beast Tamer Subai, and the little turtle as his beast. He then told Mani and Luo Yong to handle the smaller monsters, while he would deal with the Cat King. The other students were stunned at the sight of Subai and his turtle. They wondered if this turtle was really that impressive, and if the Cat King was truly knocked away by it. Yanren was overjoyed to learn that the turtle was actually Subai's beast. When the king of the Yuming cats got back up, Subai told his little turtle, "Show this wild cat what you can do." On his command, the little turtle charged at the king of the Yuming cats with lightning speed. Mani, astonished by its speed, asked, "How is Subai's turtle running so fast? Is that even a turtle?" Captain Fu, who was shooting at the Yuming cats, was surprised when he saw the little turtle fighting the king. He hadn't expected Subai to have such power. Instructor Yu, fighting beside Captain Fu, admitted that she hadn't expected it either, saying, "Subai's beast taming is indeed a bit different." Captain Fu turned to the students and commanded, "Since Subai has already distracted the Cat King, focus your attacks and clear out these nether cats." On his command, the students immediately began killing the Yuming cats like ants. Meanwhile, the king of the Yuming cats, furious at the little turtle, used demonic flames to strike it with its claws. The attack landed squarely on the little turtle's shell. Instead of injuring the turtle, the king of the Yuming cats lost all its claws. The little turtle had used its shell defense ability, which increased its defense by 300%. Captain Fu was shocked to see a normal-grade creature withstand the Silver Cat King's crushing claws. He marveled at the little turtle's insane defense but quickly refocused, realizing that now wasn't the time to be distracted. Captain Fu immediately moved towards the king of the Yuming cats and ordered his soldiers to cover him. "While the Cat King is occupied, I'll finish it," he shouted. While the king was busy fighting the little turtle, Captain Fu sneaked up from behind and jumped at it, aiming for its abdomen, its known weak spot. With all his power, he struck the king with his fire sword, yelling, "Prepare to die!" The king of the Yuming cats screamed in pain and lashed out with its tail, striking Captain Fu and sending him flying. Captain Fu's attack missed the abdomen. Undeterred, Captain Fu got back up and charged at the king again, shouting, "Once more! Beast, it's either you die or I live." Seeing Captain Fu charging in, Su Bai told the little turtle to use its ultimate move. Hearing this, the little turtle's body began to shine, and it started spinning rapidly. Jia Jun and Fan Chao, watching, were confused and asked, "What kind of ultimate move is this? Why is the turtle spinning in place?" Ignoring their confusion, Su Bai sprinted toward the spinning little turtle. He had read in a book that the Cat King's weak spot was its abdomen. Timing his move perfectly, Su Bai kicked the spinning little turtle like a football, aiming directly at the Cat King's abdomen. The little turtle flew toward the king like a bullet at high speed. Before the Cat King could strike Captain Fu again, the little turtle hit the king squarely in the abdomen with a solid impact. Little Turtle's attack sent the Cat King flying far away. After hitting the Cat King, Little Turtle landed like a superhero. Captain Fu was shocked that Su Bai had actually hit the weak spot. He moved closer to see if the Cat King had survived. On the other hand, the Cat King was bleeding heavily, but somehow managed to stand up again. It let out a loud roar towards the sky before collapsing. Finally, the Cat King was dead. Seeing this, everyone jumped with joy, cheering. "The Cat King has been defeated." Captain Fu, injured and in disbelief, asked, "Did we really win?" Yanran ran to Su Bai and hugged him tightly, exclaiming, "Su Bai, you're amazing! You defeated the golden-level Cat King." Su Bai was surprised by the sudden hug from Yanran. Everyone gathered around him, praising his incredible feat. Jia Jun jokingly asked Su Bai where he got the turtle, saying he wanted one too. While they were busy talking, Little Turtle took the opportunity to search the Cat King's body for something to eat. To its delight, it found a yellow beast core. Excited, it was about to eat the core when Su Bai noticed it. He shouted, "Little Turtle, what are you sneaking off to eat now?" But before he could stop it, Little Turtle swallowed the yellow beast core. Su Bai was annoyed, but before he could say anything, a black shadow appeared in the sky. Everyone was confused and asked, "What's that in the sky?" Captain Fu immediately recognized it and warned the group, "This is dangerous. The Cat King's final howl has summoned its kind." Instructor Yu asked, "Could an even more dangerous beast be approaching?" Meanwhile, at the base operations center, a soldier reported to the commander, "According to the frontline energy wave analysis, Base F-269 is detecting a large number of unknown-level beasts. It's becoming extremely dangerous." This was the same base where Su Bai and the students were stationed. Suddenly, the commander received news that Hu Lin's daughter, Yanran, was among the trainee students at Base F-269. Wen Yuan, who delivered the news, urged the commander to provide immediate support. The commander agreed without hesitation, saying, "I'll dispatch a scout company to escort Mr. Wen to the battlefield." However, Mr. Wen refused the escort, saying he couldn't wait and would head there himself. Before leaving, he turned to the commander and said, "Within 20 minutes, I hope reinforcements will reach the battlefield." Hearing this, the commander assured him, "I'm giving the order now." The commander was deeply nervous. Understanding the gravity of the situation, he thought to himself, if Hu Lin goes mad, the entire Jiangzhou won't be able to handle it. He immediately issued orders to send reinforcements. Back at Base F-269, as the black shadows covered the sky, a pair of glowing red eyes appeared, glaring at the group with rage. A loud voice echoed, "Foolish humans, lowly species." Hearing the voice, Instructor Yu was stunned and asked Captain Fu, "How is this possible? It can actually speak human language." Captain Fu, equally shocked, replied, "This is impossible. A beast that understands human language must be at least golden level. It shouldn't be here." He immediately ordered everyone, "Quickly form a defensive formation. Place the injured in the center." Suddenly, the black shadow descended to the ground beside the Cat King's dead body. From the shadow came a furious voice, "Lowly species, how dare you slaughter my kind?" The shadow then began devouring the Cat King's body. The students were horrified and disgusted as they watched the monster eat the Cat King. Captain Fu, seeing the creature, said, "This is absolutely impossible. How could something like that appear in this area?" Suddenly, Su Bai received a system warning notification. The system alerted him to extreme danger, stating that a golden-level beast had been detected nearby. The system urged him, "Please leave immediately. Lethal threat level, 5 stars. Extreme danger." Su Bai was shocked to realize that the shadow was indeed a golden-level beast. The monster that emerged from the shadows was the Shadow Cat King, a mutated golden-level beast with 272 constitution, 345 agility, and 275 mentality. After sustaining severe injuries, the Shadow Cat King entered a bloodthirsty berserk state, increasing its agility and attack by 100%, while reducing its defense by 50%. Luo Yong was horrified, exclaiming, "It's a golden-level beast. Even our teacher probably hasn't faced one." Manny, trembling with fear, fell to the ground, crying, "I want to go home. I don't want to die." Seeing that reinforcements had not yet arrived, Captain Fu charged at the Shadow Cat King, ordering, "Everyone, escort the wounded and retreat. I'll cover you." With determination, he leaped to attack, shouting, "Beast, I'll fight you to the death." However, with just one swing of its claws, the Shadow Cat King sent Captain Fu flying. The monster then raised its claws, ready to strike the finishing blow. Seeing this, Su Bai threw Little Turtle towards Captain Fu, commanding, "Protect him!" As the Shadow Cat King's attack descended, Little Turtle jumped in between and blocked it with its shell defense. The Shadow Cat King was shocked by the turtle's exceptionally tough shell, but suddenly, deep scratches appeared on Little Turtle's shell, and it began to bleed. Captain Fu, still stunned, gasped and asked, "Little Turtle, are you okay?" Seeing Little Turtle injured, Su Bai tried to rush over, but before he could move, he also sustained injuries, coughing up blood. He felt the same pain as Little Turtle. Yanren, standing beside him, was shocked to see him in such a state, and asked if he was hurt. Instructor Yu, who was assisting Captain Fu, was equally shocked. She couldn't understand how Su Bai had been injured since she hadn't seen the Shadow Cat King attack him. Captain Fu wondered aloud, could it be the Beast Tamer's same origin effect? Hearing this, Instructor Yu responded, "Impossible. I'll go check on him." Suddenly, a system notification appeared for Su Bai, explaining, because the tamed beast has fallen into a serious injury state, the tamer's talent, the same origin, has been triggered. The host and the tamed beast now share energy and damage. Instructor Yu came to check on Su Bai, but found no external injuries. Shocked, she wondered, could Su Bai have truly mastered the legendary beast taming skill? In pain, Su Bai collapsed, but Yanren caught him before he hit the ground. She was deeply worried about his condition. Su Bai, reading the system notification, understood what had happened. He reassured Yanren, saying, "I'm okay." Instructor Yu, pointing her sword at the Shadow Cat King, declared, "Su Bai is sharing the attacks of the golden-level Shadow Cat King with his tamed beast. We can't let him fight alone. Let's support him, yes, we can't let him fight alone." All the students and soldiers shouted in unison. As everyone charged at the Shadow Cat King, the beast sneered. Its eyes burned with anger, and it mocked them, a bunch of ants. When the students, along with Instructor Yu and Captain Fu, attacked, the Shadow Cat King shifted into its shadow form and sent one of its shadow minions directly at Su Bai. Instructor Yu noticed this and shouted a warning to Su Bai to be careful. Yanran, seeing the shadow minion coming, tried to shield Su Bai by taking the hit herself. However, before the minion could reach them, a massive explosion engulfed the area in flames. When the smoke cleared, Su Bai and Yanran were unharmed. Yanran, shocked, asked, "What just happened?" Su Bai smiled, realizing what had occurred. The core crystal of the Silver Yuming Cat King has finally been absorbed. A system notification appeared, announcing, "Little Turtle has upgraded to bronze level, Black Turtle." The Black Tortoise bloodline has been activated, allowing the Black Tortoise illusion to be maintained for a short period. Little Turtle has gained a new talent, Turtle Gravity. With 10% of its bloodline activated, all attributes have improved, and talents are enhanced. The system detailed Little Turtle's new stats. Its physical strength is 218, defense is 362, agility is 55, and spirit is 60. Now it has 3 skills. First skill is Black Turtle Barrier. Gathers Little Turtle's energy to form a defensive barrier, increasing defense by 300%. Second skill was Turtle Spirit Possession. Consumes physical energy to envelop Little Turtle's body, enhancing attack power by 100% and defense by 200%. Third skill was Turtle Gravity. Launches a gravitational skill at a designated target, pulling them in. As the Black Tortoise bloodline awakened, Little Turtle entered its spirit form. A colossal beast, resembling a projection, emerged from Little Turtle's body. Everyone was awestruck, staring at Little Turtle's spirit form. Instructor Yu asked, "Has Su Bai's beast evolved?" Seeing the golden light radiating from Little Turtle, Captain Fu wondered, could this be the mark of an epic beast tamer? After Little Turtle's awakening, Su Bai stood up. Yanren asked him, "Is your injury healed?" Su Bai reassured her, "I'm fine." He then pointed at the Shadow Cat King and commanded Little Turtle, "Kill that beast for me." On Su Bai's command, Little Turtle's spirit swung its massive hand and struck the Shadow Cat King, sending it flying with just one attack. Everyone was astonished by Little Turtle's power. Captain Fu was shocked and exclaimed, "Su Bai's tamed beast is only at the initial bronze level, but it has such terrifying strength. The bloodline level must be extremely high." Luolong couldn't believe their eyes, marveling that Su Bai, a bronze-level beast Tamer, managed to knock away the Shadow Cat King. The Shadow Cat King, though sent flying, managed to regain its balance. Now furious, it let out a thunderous roar and summoned its shadow minions. "I want you all to die!" it bellowed, releasing the minions to attack the students. Seeing the Shadow Cat King go berserk, Captain Fu yelled, "Everyone, watch out! Retreat and split up!" However, the Shadow Cat King created dozens of shadow minions, sneering, "Don't even think about running away." The minions avoided Little Turtle and charged toward the students and soldiers. Seeing this, Su Bai commanded Little Turtle, "Stop them." Little Turtle immediately used its turtle gravity skill over the entire area. A golden light spread across the battlefield, and before the shadow minions could reach the students, they froze mid-air. Little Turtle then pulled all the shadow minions toward itself, opened its massive mouth, and swallowed them whole, killing them instantly. Su Bai then instructed, "Don't hold back, finish it." On his command, Little Turtle began gathering immense energy, a golden aura radiating from its body. It then unleashed a powerful energy beam directly at the Shadow Cat King. The Shadow Cat King, despite its strength, couldn't withstand the attack, and was vaporized in an instant. A few minutes later, Mr. Wen arrived at the battlefield, only to find the fight already over. The ground was scorched, with a massive crack running through it. Surveying the destruction, he wondered, what on earth did they endure on such a tragic battlefield? Meanwhile, Captain Fu was commanding his troops to clean up the battlefield quickly. Mr. Wen hurried over to Yanren, who was collecting monster cores with Instructor Yu. Relieved to see her unharmed, he said, "I'm so glad you're okay." Yanren was a little surprised to see him there, while Instructor Yu, confused, asked her, "Why is Mr. Wen here?" Captain Fu immediately saluted Mr. Wen and introduced himself as Fu Lin, the Deputy Battalion Commander of F-269 Military Base. Recognizing Mr. Wen's high rank, Captain Fu reported, "In this battle, a squad of my troops cooperated with the instructors and students from Wuhan University. We encountered a large group of nether cats. Over 800 nether cats were killed, including several bronze-level ones, 1 silver-level one, and 1 gold-level. Casualties are still being counted, and initial treatment is being provided to the seriously injured." Mr. Wen was stunned. "A gold-level beast appeared?" he asked in disbelief. Looking at the massive crack in the ground, he continued, "Captain Fu, you actually killed this gold-level monster? It's unbelievable." Pointing at Su Bai, Captain Fu reported to Mr. Wen, "It was Su Bai and his trained beast who killed the Shadow Cat King." Hearing this, Mr. Wen turned to Su Bai and asked, "Did you really kill this Shadow Cat King?" Su Bai, acting modest, replied, "It wasn't just my effort. The Deputy Battalion Commander, the instructors and I worked together to take it down." Impressed by Su Bai's humility, Mr. Wen patted him on the shoulder and asked, "After graduating from Wuhan University, would you be interested in studying at the Jiangzhou Fortress? Even though the Beast Tamer division has dwindled, I will personally guide you." Hearing this, Su Bai was thrilled, but replied politely, "Thank you for your kindness, Mr. Wen. I haven't thought that far ahead yet." While they were talking, Captain Fu approached and reported to Mr. Wen, "The battlefield has been cleared." He then asked, "Please give us your next instructions." Mr. Wen instructed everyone to return to base. When they returned to the base, Captain Fu stood in front of the teleportation formation and asked the instructors to count the number of people and have all candidates enter the portal in an orderly manner. He then addressed the students, saying, "Go back and train hard. You are the strongest class I have ever met." The students thanked Captain Fu before leaving. As they departed, Captain Fu turned to Instructor Yu and remarked, "These students are extraordinary, especially Su Bai. He has a bright future ahead of him." Instructor Yu nodded in agreement, saying, "For a freshman to achieve this level of strength is incredible. I can't imagine how powerful he'll become in the future." Captain Fu smiled and added, "Instructor Yu, we'll meet again someday. This time, I owe Su Bai my life." Instructor Yu replied, "You're too kind," before they parted ways. One by one, everyone entered the teleportation formation and returned to Wuhan University. Su Bai and Yanran were together, and he was overjoyed to finally be back. Jin Jun was ecstatic, exclaiming, "This trip was absolutely thrilling." Upon their return to the university, they were greeted with banners and cheers from the other students, who had gathered to welcome the heroes back from victory. All the teachers and students of Jiangzhou Wuhan University were present. A teacher handed a bouquet of flowers to Luo Yong, saying, "Welcome home, hero." Luo Yong was surprised and humbly responded, "The real hero is Su Bai. We're nothing. We were just cannon fodder." The other injured students agreed, telling the teachers, "It's good enough that we made it back alive. If not for the many missing classmates, We might have thought this was all just a dream. Instructor Jian approached and patted Subai on the back, saying, I already heard about your actions on the battlefield. You are all heroes of Zhangzhou Wuhan University. Your test scores this time will be the highest ever recorded. Hearing about the assessment results, Subai was overjoyed and said, All I want to do now is go back to the dormitory, take a shower, and have a good night's sleep. All the students laughed and agreed that they all needed rest. In Subai's room, Jinjun joked, Don't you feel like the bed is extra soft tonight? Fan Chao laughed and replied, I've already been trapped by this bed. Turning to Han Jin, Fan Chao asked, Since we accomplished such a great feat this time, will we be credited with a military achievement? Han Jin laughed and teased, How many resources do you think you can exchange for your limited capabilities? But our brother Su killed the gold-level monster, so he'll definitely exchange it for a ton of cultivation resources. Suddenly, Han Jin remembered something and stood up, asking Subai, What kind of turtle is yours? I want to buy one to raise at home. If nothing else, it's calming to watch a turtle. He chuckled, though watching it makes me feel a little jealous. Meanwhile, Little Turtle was lost in its dreams of a harem filled with female turtles. The next day, early in the morning, someone continuously knocked on Subai's room door. Irritated by the sounds of knocking, Han Jin woke up. He shouted, telling the person outside to stop knocking already. He was angry, wondering who it could be knocking this early in the morning. But when he opened the door, he was shocked to see many girls standing in front of the door holding gifts in their hands. A girl in glasses came forward and said, Juniors, we're from Zhongwu's student council. You're all heroes who just returned from the battlefield. We came to bring breakfast for you. A red-haired girl added that they seniors made it all by themselves and hoped he didn't find it lacking. A purple-haired girl, while giving the breakfast to Han Jin, asked him who Subai was among them. Han Jin got very happy after seeing that many beauties early in the morning. He thanked the seniors, saying he certainly wouldn't let their efforts go to waste. He let all of them enter the room. The purple-haired girl, looking around their room, again asked Han Jin who Subai was. Hearing all that commotion, Fan Chao also woke up. The red-haired girl asked him where Subai was and if she could take a photo with him. Pointing at Subai's bed, Fan Chao told those girls that his brother Su went out for a run. He asked them if they knew his brother Su. Hearing that Subai wasn't there, those girls got very disappointed and asked Fan Chao why he didn't say so earlier. The purple-haired girl told him that everyone on campus now knows Subai. With a sad face, she said, Too bad Subai doesn't know me. Jinjun also woke up and was surprised to hear that his brother Su is famous now. While leaving, the purple-haired girl told them to turn on the TV and take a look. She also took back the breakfast box she gave to Han Jin, saying, Since Subai isn't here, I'll just take the breakfast back then. Han Jin and the other two were shocked to see how these girls changed after knowing that Subai was not there. They all turned out to be gold diggers. On the other hand, Subai was running on the university's field, while taking note of his health. Suddenly, an important announcement on Longguo's military channel attracted the attention of everyone in the stadium, and they all looked at the broadcasting screen. The announcement was that yesterday, several provinces experienced large-scale attacks by ferocious beasts from the Myriad races on military bases behind human lines. Among the beasts attacking the bases, gold-tier combatants were present in each instance. Students from martial arts universities across provinces were massacred, with survival rates less than 1 in 100. During this campaign, the instructors and students of Zhangzhou Martial University fought valiantly. They slew 1 gold-tier beast, 1 silver-tier beast, and numerous bronze-tier and ordinary-tier beasts. Among them, freshman Subai single-handedly held off a gold-tier beast with the support of instructors and a bronze-tier expert from the military. He achieved the feat of cross-tier slaying, a complete defeat across the board, with Zhangzhou Martial University standing as the sole victor. The news also showed Subai's photo on the screen and continued that the Longguo military has decided to award all participating students and instructors from Zhangzhou Martial University a collective second-class honor and a Great Wall silver medal. As for student Subai, for his outstanding contributions, he is awarded a first-class honor and a Great Wall gold medal. Subai was surprised and confused by the sudden awarding of the first-class honor. Everyone at the stadium was shocked to hear that Subai, a freshman, had achieved something this incredible. One guy, very jealous of Subai, remarked, A Great Wall gold medal, something I could never achieve in my life, is given to a freshman. A girl, very impressed by Subai, shouted, The Martial University is mighty. I really want to meet Subai. And she asked others who were acquainted with Subai, saying she wanted to date him. Realizing that if he stayed there, those crazy girls would not let him escape, Subai covered his face, thinking it was better to sneak away quickly. Slowly, he got away from there and hid behind a wall where others could not see him. While he was taking a breath, His phone rang. It was Subai's sister, Susia, who was very excited and told Subai that he was on TV. Subai was surprised that even people outside the university also got the news. He told his sister that he had already seen it. Susia told him that their mom and dad wanted him to come home to celebrate for him. Knowing his family's financial condition, Subai asked, "Isn't that unnecessary?" Subai's mother and father, who were sitting beside Susia, were very proud of Subai. His father told him that he had achieved such an honor, and now everyone in the neighborhood wanted to see him. Subai's mother told him that his third uncle's sister-in-law had just called, saying she wanted to introduce him to a girlfriend. Susia told him he better come back quickly. Otherwise, their front door was about to get kicked down by their neighbors. Hearing them so happy, Subai said, "The test just ended, and we have 2 days off. I'll pack up and come back to take a look." His sister was very happy, and told him that since he is so famous now, their dad will grin in his sleep. Subai laughed, and told her to hang up now. That afternoon, Subai returned to his family's apartment. All the neighbors started calling Subai's father, saying, "Old Su, your family's hero is coming home. Come out and welcome him." Subai was shocked to see that many people standing in front of their house, and asked them if all of them were waiting for him. The whole neighborhood was gathered there to welcome Subai. They started cheering that the great hero was back. A woman came forward and asked Subai if he still remembered her, saying she had held him when he was a kid. Subai was very surprised and asked, "Isn't everyone being way too enthusiastic?" Subai's family also came out. Susia jumped to hug her hero brother. His mother and father were very happy to see Subai. Subai's father grabbed his hand and asked him to come home. While he was going, another woman asked Subai to come and eat at her house, saying she made seafood dumplings. Subai thanked her but told her that he is allergic to seafood. An old man came forward and asked Subai's father to bring Subai to his house, saying he had stewed turtle soup, and they could have some together. Subai's father thanked everyone and told them that they had already prepared food at home. He added that he would bring Subai to visit each of them once he had rested. Subai told them that later on, he would definitely visit all the uncles and aunties. Hearing that, an old auntie came forward and asked Subai's father to bring Subai over later. Her granddaughter is a university student in the city, and they could meet there. But another uncle came forward and told that auntie that her granddaughter isn't worthy of Subai. His granddaughter just graduated this year, and he would introduce Subai to her. Subai's father didn't expect their neighbors to behave like that. Somehow, Subai and his family returned to their house, and Subai was exhausted from dealing with all of them. He said that if he had known it would be like this, he would have snuck back after dark. Susia told him that it wouldn't work, because Aunt Jang had installed surveillance outside their house. She was just waiting for Subai to come back so she could introduce her granddaughter to him. Subai's father immediately walked towards the kitchen, telling them he was personally cooking today. His mother told Subai to take a rest first, saying his dad and she would cook. She asked her daughter to come help out. Subai immediately threw his bag on the side of the sofa and sat down, finally getting a moment to catch his breath. But before he could rest, suddenly a system notification popped up in front of his eyes. The system detected a contractible creature, a little kitten, and asked Subai if he wished to tame the little kitten. Subai was surprised to see that notification. It was the Beastmaster's intuition. Seeing him looking surprised, Susia asked him what was wrong. Subai asked his little sister if their family got a cat. She pointed at a little cat eating food in the corner of the room and asked him if he meant Little White. Seeing the cat, Subai asked his sister if they couldn't have a more impressive pet. Susia petted the little cat and asked Subai what was not impressive about Little White, saying it's so cute. She told him that after he took Little 8, she found Little White on the road a few days ago, so she brought it home. Subai didn't argue with his sister and told her that it's cute if she says it is. He thought that if his sister likes it so much, maybe he should not tame it. But the little cat's status window popped up in front of him. The tamed beast's name is Little Kitten. Its level is Ordinary Initial Stage. It contains traces of the White Tiger Sacred Beast bloodline, with infinite growth potential and eventual god-slaying capabilities. Currently, its average physical, defense, and spirit is 1. Its agility is 3, and its ability is Claw Strike, which increases attack speed and damage by 100%. Its evolution method is consumption. The system asked Subai if he wanted to tame the kitten. Subai was too shocked to see the little cat's status window, wondering if this stray cat really could have the White Tiger bloodline. The little cat looked at Subai with curiosity. Susia told Subai that it seemed to like him. Subai clicked on the tame option, thinking he should tame it first and figure it out later. After taming the little cat, he turned to his sister, and while smiling, called her to discuss something. He told her it was about the little cat because her brother is a beastmaster. Before Subai could finish what he was saying, Susia immediately declined. She took Little Cat and said, "Since you already took Little 8, don't think about taking Little White." Subai tried to convince her, saying they could negotiate on this. He asked her if she didn't want a laptop. Susia ran with little cat, telling Subai that it wouldn't do. She wouldn't give little white to him. A few minutes later, Subai's mother came with food and saw Subai chasing Susia, who was running away with little cat in her hand. Then, 2 days later, when Subai returned to the university, he had both Little Turtle and Little Cat with him. When students at the university saw Subai, they immediately recognized him. Seeing the cat in Subai's backpack, a girl asked others why he had a cat in his bag and if he was a cat lover. Inside Subai's bag, Little Turtle was very happy to be with Little Cat. It told Little Cat that this is the boss's school and it would have her back from today. However, Little Cat was very uncomfortable in the small bag and complained to Subai that Little Turtle was squishing her. Subai didn't understand what they were talking about. While he was walking, a boy spotted Subai and said, "Isn't that Subai, the one who got the gold medal?" Another boy added, "Is that why, despite his average looks, so many girls are running to his dorm?" They were jealous of Subai's achievements. Hearing them all, Subai thought, "Looks like I'll need to wear a mask when going out in the future." While he was walking, suddenly there was an announcement asking student Subai to please report to the principal's office immediately. Subai was surprised by the announcement, wondering what the principal could want with him. When he went to the principal's office, the principal told Subai that he is truly a man of Huaxia. Because of his excellent performance at the F-269 military base, the school has decided to reward him. The principal asked Subai what he would like. Subai said that he is really grateful to the school, and also to the principal. Subai had always heard that their principal is a stingy man. It would probably be tough even trying to get some food for little 8. He acted like he was thinking hard and told the principal that he wouldn't want the school to go bankrupt over him. "So how about 100 gold tier beast cores?" The principal acted shocked after hearing 100 gold tier beast cores, and said, "Subai, I don't have that many of them. Even if you ground my bones to dust, why don't you ask for the principal's position instead?" Subai then told the principal that he could settle for 100 silver tier ones too. Hearing about the silver tier, the principal told him not to even think about it. He couldn't even get scraps with the amount of honor he has. Subai told his principal that he doesn't want that gold medal or whatever. Can he have 50 silver tier beast cores instead? He tried to make the situation emotional, saying, "Principal, you know I bled for the school." But the principal didn't fall for that and said, "Subai, humans are humans. The strong in the human race have the responsibility and duty to protect the weak. When you saved these students, you were carrying out a duty of yours as one of the strong ones." Subai was lost for words seeing the principal. "Principal, please no more yapping. Let's settle with 50 silver tier beast cores." The principal completely ignored his words and told him that the military and the school are not going to give up on a genius like him. He took a deep breath and told Subai that this is the most he can do. He will let him have 10 bronze tier beast cores. Subai was shocked to hear that his reward is just 10 bronze tier. He immediately declined and asked for 20 bronze tier beast cores. The principal agreed to 15 and told him it's final. Subai accepted the deal. The principal realized that Subai was trying to haggle with him. Subai also realized that his principal is very cheap. The principal then turned around and told Subai that, in addition to the rewards, there's a little something he needs to let Subai know. Surprised, Subai asked him what it is. The principal told Subai that he has been selected by their school as the representative from the first year and will participate in this year's 100 Schools tournament. Subai was confused to hear about the 100 Schools tournament and asked the principal if the reward offer was just a ruse. He said, "Principal, this isn't very nice of you." The principal urged him not to put it that way, explaining that as a student of the Jiangzhou Martial University, it is his duty to bring honor to the school. The principal mentioned that Subai wanted resources and that the tournament is very generous with rewards. Subai replied, "Principal, there must be lots of skilled people in the 100 Schools tournament. It'd be difficult to even get a rank, wouldn't it? It'll be hard work." The principal then asked how the youth of today could be scared of challenges and told Subai to prepare and come to the training room tomorrow. Subai agreed and left. The principal looked outside the window and thought it was getting more difficult to engage the youth today in such activities. Meanwhile, as he was leaving, Subai thought of the tales of the principal being a sly old fox and realized that the gossip was definitely accurate. The next day, 10 students gathered in the practice hall. The principal told them that the 100 Schools tournament is hosted by the military, though the Ministry of Education had given them far fewer resources compared to better-known schools like the martial universities of Beijing and Shanghai. He still sent them off with the hope that they would achieve better results. The principal started the roll call. First was third-year Hu Qing, a bronze middle-tier awakener of the wood elemental. Then came Bai Ningbing, and then Xiong Tianxiang. While the principal was calling their names, an annoyed student commented that it was unfair. Jiangzhou Martial University was founded later, so students here received much fewer resources than those going to famous schools. A girl standing behind agreed, saying she heard that their school has always ranked very low. The principal then called first-year Subai's name last. He immediately responded that he was present. The principal told the students that they are the top students in their respective years, representing the school in the tournament. Then, the principal took out a paper and announced that this year, the team leader would be Subai. Subai was shocked to hear his name and questioned if it was a mistake. When other students heard Subai's name, they became angry. One student asked why a freshman like Subai would be the team lead instead of Hu Qing, the strongest and most experienced among them. Another student pointed out that Subai is just at the initial tier of bronze, a whole tier behind Hu Qing, questioning how he could lead them. The principal became angry and asked if they had seen the news in the past 2 days, explaining that Subai is capable of defeating gold-tier beasts. He challenged anyone who wanted to be the leader to kill a gold-tier beast right now, and he would consider making the swap. Hearing this, a boy laughed and doubted Subai's ability, suggesting it might have just been luck. Another student looked angrily at Subai and said he didn't believe it either. He challenged Subai to a fight right there. All the seniors were angry at Subai, saying they also wanted to challenge him. Subai tried to calm them down, explaining that he was not aware of the whole leader situation at all. Subai was angry with the principal because he felt he was being made a target by everyone. The principal immediately walked away, stating, "That is all for today." He told them to get ready now, as the tournament was less than 20 days away, and he looked forward to their performances. While others were listening to the principal, Subai also made his escape. Some students noticed and shouted, asking where he was going. As he ran away, Subai responded, "Dear seniors, I'm in a hurry. I'll be going to my dorm now." Seeing Subai escape, a boy called him a coward, doubting that Subai had killed the gold-tier beast at all. Another boy angrily declared that he would show Subai who's boss once the tournament started. On the other hand, Subai returned to his dormitory and called his little turtle, telling it that it was time to eat. Looking in his inventory, Subai said, "At least the old man kept his word." He told the little turtle that there were 15 bronze-tier beast cores, enough for it to level up. When Subai gave a beast core to the little turtle, the little cat tried to snatch it. Subai told the little cat not to rush because there was something for it too. He took out some blood essence and gave it to the little cat because its level was still too low. Seeing the little cat eat the blood essence, the little turtle made an innocent face to get some too. It sure eats a lot. Subai gave it another beast core. He was crying while giving those beast cores to the little turtle because one bite cost hundreds of thousands of yuan. The little turtle ate it immediately and asked for more. Subai, while crying, asked how much more it needed to eat to evolve. He poured all the beast cores into the little turtle's bowl and told it that these were the last ones. If it still didn't evolve, then he would feed everything to the little cat in the future. The little cat was happy to hear that. After eating those beast cores, the little turtle's body started shining again. Subai got a little scared seeing the golden light coming out of the little turtle's body. The whole university started shaking because of the little turtle's evolution. Everyone was confused, asking what happened and wondering if it was an earthquake. A system notification congratulated Subai because his mystic tortoise had leveled up to the bronze middle tier. Subai's level also increased. Currently, the little turtle's level is bronze middle stage, and 30% of its Zhuanwu bloodline is activated. All its attributes are enhanced, and talents are strengthened. The little turtle's physique is 568, defense is 862, agility is 95, and spirit is 90. Subai was happy that the little turtle finally leveled up. It didn't get more talents, but the stats and talent levels increased a lot. While Subai was looking at the little turtle's status window, suddenly another notification congratulated him, because the little cat also leveled up to the ordinary high tier and awakened. Subai's tamed beast, Little Kitten, is now an ordinary high-level beast. It contains traces of the White Tiger Sacred Beast bloodline, with infinite growth potential, and eventually, god-slaying capabilities. Now its strength is 39, defense is 38, agility is 79, and spirit is 25. It also has 3 talents. The first is Claw Strike, which activates by consuming stamina, increasing attack speed and damage by 100%. The second talent is Bloodlust, which activates by consuming stamina, increasing attack by 100% to 500%. The graver the wounds, the higher the bonus. The third talent is Ghostly Haunting Step. It increases movement speed by 100% to 200%. The bonus increases when more vitality is consumed. Seeing the second notification, Subai jumped in happiness that Little Cat leveled up as well. He pet both of his pets and said, "Now that Little 8 and Little White have both leveled up, It's time to show them off on the stage of the 100 Schools tournament. Subai also leveled up with his beasts and became a bronze middle level. His bonus stats increased by 30% from Mystic Turtle and 20% from Little Cat. Currently, his strength is 115, agility is 74, and spirit is 86. Subai now has 3 talents. The first is Infinite Evolution, which applies to all tamed beasts and is gifted by the system. The second talent is that he can use all skills from tamed beasts. This talent is an exclusive Beastmaster Awakened talent. The third talent is originating from the same source, with which Subai can share the energy as well as damage sustained with tamed beasts. The next day, Subai went to the Jiangzhou Martial University Library and was surprised by the huge building. He told the librarian that he didn't expect Jianguni's library to be this big. The librarian informed Subai that their school's library had been here even before the university was founded, serving as the cornerstone of Jiangzhou Martial University's heritage. While scanning Subai's ID, she was surprised to see that a freshman already had 180 credits. As a beast tamer, Subai asked her about books related to beast taming. The librarian pointed him in the right direction and told him he was free to look up whatever information he needed. Subai thanked her and went to the beast taming section. He was surprised to see quite a few books on beast taming and thought it would take him a long time to go through them all. While picking his first book, he saw one written by Luo Fan. The name sounded familiar to him. Subai picked up the book, and while flipping through its pages, he noticed the beast taming skills written in the book, which included Heavens and Earth Converge, The Undying Soul, Divine Weapons Gather, Sacred Beasts Armed, The Roots of Grass and Trees, and Origin Confluence. Subai recognized the Origin Confluence skill, as he had already mastered it. He wondered what the Undying Soul and Sacred Beasts Armed meant. While engrossed in the book, Subai didn't realize he had left the beast taming section. 3 seniors walking by noticed him coming out of the section. They were the same seniors who had been selected for the university competition with Subai. Seeing him, one senior mocked, saying, "A beast tamer has no future, no matter how much they study." They then left to get their books. Subai didn't even notice them, as he was fully focused on the book. He was amazed by what he read, saying he didn't expect Senior Luo Fan to be so powerful. Luo Fan had created 3 divine skills: Origin Confluence, Sacred Beasts Armed, and Undying Soul, and had single-handedly fought against the invasion of all the tribes. It was a pity that he was eventually outnumbered and died on the battlefield. Just by briefly looking into the book, Subai understood that he needed to read it carefully. Suddenly, something shocking happened. While reading, the book started shining. Subai was shocked and confused. He couldn't understand what was going on and why the book was floating. He even felt a force flowing into his body. After the book stopped shining, Subai took it to the librarian and asked if he could borrow it. The librarian was surprised to see the book because it didn't have a classification label. She told Subai that it probably wasn't from the library. Subai insisted that it couldn't be possible because he took it from the bookshelf. The librarian decided to check the contents of the book, but even after using all her power, she could not open it. Frustrated, she wondered why she couldn't open the book. Subai was surprised to hear that and said, "That can't be right. I was just reading it a moment ago. Let me take a look." When Subai tried to open the book, it opened immediately. He asked the librarian to look, saying, "How is it possible that it can't be opened?" The librarian was also confused and said, "Maybe something went wrong." She told Subai to just take it to read, and that he could return it whenever he was done. Subai immediately took the book, and asked the librarian if he could borrow it for as long as he wanted. The librarian said yes. Subai was happy to hear that, and thanked the librarian before leaving. After Subai left, the librarian called the university principal, and told him that the book he left on the bookshelf had been taken by Subai. The principal was shocked, and asked if Subai could actually open that book. The librarian confirmed that it was true. She had seen it with her own eyes. The first-year student, Subai, opened that book. Hearing this, the principal was very happy. He looked up at the sky and said, "Luo Fan, the person you've been waiting for has finally appeared after 100 years. If you, in the underworld, are aware of it, you should be very happy." 2 weeks later, at the Martial University's 100 Schools League, people started to gather at the stadium. A reporter informed the audience that the 100 Schools League was divided into 5 major battle zones: East, South, West, North, and Central. Each battle zone would have 2 qualifying teams. The 8 martial universities of Jiangzhou province would all gather at Jiangzhou Martial University to compete. The stadium was full, and tickets for this year's 100 Schools League were hard to come by. University buses began to arrive, carrying the participants of the competition. A group of students from Fuchuan made fun of the Longying Martial University students, saying, "Longying Martial University dares to show up? They're just here to get beaten. The Longying Martial University students responded saying, "Who gets beaten is still up in the air. Just wait and see, you trash from Fuchuan." All the students were very competitive towards each other as they entered the stadium. The audience also started to gather as the competition was about to start. At the seating stand of Subai's Jiangzhou Martial University, Instructor Fu arrived and asked if everyone was there. A senior told Instructor Fu that Subai hadn't arrived yet, but everyone else was there. Another senior said, "Subai is our team captain. He wouldn't back out at the last minute." Just as he said that, a voice came saying, "How could I back out at the last minute?" It was Subai. Instructor Fu was shocked to see Subai. It had only been a few days, but she could feel that Subai's strength had improved significantly. She told Subai that the match was about to start, and they needed to arrange their lineup. Subai told Instructor Fu not to worry, saying he had it all planned out. Before the start of the competition, a host appeared on the big screen and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, teachers and students, just a month ago, the Myriad beast clans deployed large-scale forces to pin down the military's frontline capabilities. Meanwhile, smaller groups of vicious beasts bypassed the front lines to attack several provinces' rear military bases. The Martial University students in the attacked provinces were nearly wiped out by the Myriad beast clans, with less than 1 in 100 surviving." The host asked, "Compatriots, shall we avenge this?" The whole audience shouted together, "We must avenge them! Kill all the vicious beasts! The human race must win!" Seeing the audience's energy, the host said, "If our human race has this spirit, how can the vicious beasts not be destroyed? This is the very purpose of today's 100 Schools League. Now, I declare the official opening of the Jiangzhou Provincial League." Then the rules of the competition were announced. As this is a team battle format, each team can have up to 5 participants in each match. The loser is eliminated, and the winner continues. The team with the last remaining participant wins. The host proceeded with the random draw for the matchups. The first match was between Longying Martial University and Xinmin. The second match was between Jiangzhou Martial University and Qingyun Martial University. The third match was between Fuchuan Martial University and Xicheng Martial University. The fourth match was between Anyi Martial University and Jiangsu Martial University. The host asked participants from Longying Martial University and Xinmin Martial University to come to the field. Subai's seniors were a little surprised to see that they had actually drawn Qingyun Martial University. Instructor Fu was also worried because the fight between Longying and Xinmin had already started, and their lineup hadn't been decided yet. While they were talking, suddenly the principal of Jiangzhou Martial University came and asked Subai if he had arranged the lineup. Subai proudly told the principal that for the lineup, he would be the first to go. The remaining 4 could figure it out themselves. Everyone was surprised to hear that and asked Subai if this was a strategy. A senior asked Subai if they shouldn't make targeted arrangements based on Qingyun Martial University's lineup. Other seniors agreed with that senior and asked Subai what would happen if he couldn't win. It would be an embarrassment for Jiangzhou Martial University. The seniors were very angry at Subai. Subai told everyone not to worry, saying he would not disappoint them. While they were talking, the principal noticed that in just a few days, Subai's level had increased so much. The principal admitted that his comprehension was really impressive. The principal whispered to Subai not to go too far, and at least leave some soup for his seniors to drink. Otherwise, if he offended them all, it would be hard for Subai to get by in school in the future. Subai nodded that he understood. On the other hand, the Longying Martial University and Xinmin match ended, with Xinmin Martial University winning. Seeing their fight, Instructor Fu said, "Xinmin Martial University is incredibly strong. They defeated Longying so quickly." She then turned to Subai and wished him all the best as it was his turn to take the stage. Subai walked towards the arena. He asked his seniors to watch closely. His seniors didn't like his attitude, saying, "Let's see how capable he is." When Subai went on the arena, Waifu Yanran started cheering for him. Subai's roommates were also there cheering for him. To fight, a red-haired student from Qingyun Martial University came on the stage. When the red-haired student saw Subai, he immediately recognized him and said, "You must be that freshman who slayed the golden tier vicious beast, right?" Subai, a little annoyed by his title, admitted that it's him. That red-haired guy was Qingyun Martial University squad captain, Li Lingfeng, a mid-bronze rank stone power user. Li Ling transformed his arms into stone and said to Subai that today, he would show him what true power is like. Subai completely ignored his warning and focused on taking out his little turtle from the bag. Li Ling was surprised to see the little turtle and asked Subai if this was his tamed beast. He laughed at Subai saying, "Don't tell me you brought your household pet to the competition." Subai completely ignored him again and took out some food to eat, saying he was in a bit of a rush this morning and hadn't had breakfast yet. When the audience saw Subai's little turtle, they also became very confused. wondering why he had brought a little turtle to the competition. A guy commented that Zhangzhou Martial University really doesn't have anyone worth mentioning anymore, so they are actually letting this kind of trash go on stage. Even Subai's seniors thought he was seriously underestimating his opponent. A senior asked others if Subai's opponent, being at the mid-bronze rank, was really someone he could handle. While they all were wondering about the little turtle, Instructor Fu was wondering why Subai was eating peanuts and drinking cola on the stage. After taking out the little turtle, Subai sat on the stage, opened a can of cola, and told the little turtle that after eating so many beast cores, it shouldn't embarrass him. The little turtle moved forward and released bright light from its body. Li Ling felt the power coming out of the little turtle's body and wondered if this turtle could really be his tamed beast. Subai's little turtle took on its black tortoise form. This time it was a stable form, and the little turtle fully controlled the transformation. Li Ling got too scared seeing the little turtle's terrifying form. The whole audience was shocked to see such a massive turtle. A guy remarked that just one eye of the turtle alone is as big as a basketball. Looking at the little turtle's armor, one guy asked, "Is that its skin? This is clearly an armor, and it's actually shining like metal." Looking at the little turtle's claws and limbs, one man said, "No wonder Subai can kill a gold-ranked beast. This turtle could crush anyone with a single slap." Yanren was very happy knowing that her future husband, Subai, is stronger now. Subai's roommate, Fan Chao, was very shocked, wondering when Subai's little turtle got this big. Subai, while drinking cola, ordered the little turtle to finish the fight quickly. On Subai's command, the little turtle swung its huge claws at Li Ling, who could not even react to the little turtle's attack. With just one move, the little turtle sent Li Ling flying. Li Ling went flying and fell on the ground with a solid impact. He didn't get injured because he used his stone power and turned his back into stone, but Li Ling was too shocked after seeing how formidable the little turtle was. Subai told Li Ling to just hold on a little longer because he wanted to finish his cola before going down. Seeing Subai's arrogance, Li Ling got very angry. He stood up, thinking it was just a sneak attack. He must focus all his power. Li Ling said, "Subai, you think you're tough? Then let's see who's tougher." Saying that, Li Ling used his stone transformation and fully turned his whole body into stone. He jumped high in the sky and used his rock fist skill to attack the little turtle. But before his punch could even land, Subai's little turtle hit him with its claws and sent him flying off the field. Instructor Fu was shocked that the fight was over, and that Subai had actually won. Subai's seniors were also very shocked, admitting that the turtle is too strong. The principal praised Subai, saying, "The younger generation is truly formidable." From the audience, a guy asked others if the captain of Qingyun Martial University was actually an idiot, questioning how he could not dodge such a big slap when the speed didn't even seem that fast. Another guy seated beside said, "Bro, it's clear you didn't study physics well. The speed of that turtle doesn't seem fast, but that's because he's big." Amazed by the little turtle's power, a guy said, "Even a mid-tier bronze-level ability user can't stop Subai's turtle's attack. This turtle is unstoppable, a creature that can slay a golden-level fierce beast. How could it be so easy to deal with?" Fan Chao was also very shocked because he knows that the little turtle wasn't this strong before. The host then announced that in the first match, Zhangzhou Martial University's Subai wins. After that, the second contestant from Qingyun Martial University, Zhang Xuan, came on the stage. Zhang Xuan, a mid-bronze rank blade user from Qingyun Martial University, took out her blade and thought, "I'll rely on speed to win, and I can't let that turtle get close to me." Thinking that, she charged at the little turtle with full speed, changing her direction again and again to confuse the little turtle. The host told the audience that Xuan was using her speed advantage, constantly staying outside the range of the giant turtle's attacks. Hearing that, the whole audience shouted, "Yes, that's how you fight." The guy who went up earlier was dumb. Xuan was thinking that as long as she found an opportunity, one strike would be enough to win. Instructor Fu was a little worried seeing that Xuan had been dodging, looking for an opportunity, and the turtle couldn't hit her at all with its speed. The seniors were also worried, thinking Subai was still underestimating his opponent. They all were worried for Subai, but Subai was enjoying his snack with cola. Xuan moved to the right side of the little turtle, who attacked her with full power, even destroying the ground. But Xuan jumped into the air and dodged the little turtle's attack. Landing on the ground, she said, "Subai, your turtle is really strong, but I can choose to directly deal with the beast tamer." Saying that, she jumped to attack Subai, thinking it was too late for Subai to reverse the situation now. Subai was still drinking his cola. Instructor Fu got scared seeing that Xuan was going to attack Subai directly. Yanran was also very worried, asking Subai to be careful. Xuan struck at Subai with her sword, saying, "Subai, you lost." but before her sword could even touch him, the little turtle hit her and sent her flying. The little turtle used its tail to attack, which Xuan was unaware it could use. Seeing the little turtle's attack, the audience jumped in excitement, calling that move the turtle's divine tail swipe. Yanran also took a sigh of relief, as that was a close call. Subai's seniors were shocked to see that Subai won again, asking, "Isn't that too fast?" Both Instructor Fu and the principal admitted that Subai is really strong. Xuan lost her sword, so there was no point in fighting anymore. On the other hand, Subai was finally full. Then he stood up and came near Xuan, told the little turtle that it was too close to him, then told Xuan to hurry up and heal herself because his little turtle's strike was a bit too harsh this time. Xuan was really heavily injured. Some doctors took her off the stage on stretchers. On the other hand, Subai returned to his turtle and said, "All right, I'm going to get serious now." He stood beside his little turtle and asked who was coming up to challenge him next. Subai had already defeated 2 members of the Qingyun Martial University squad when the third opponent came to fight. Subai's little turtle didn't even give her any chance and hit her with its huge claws. The third opponent was defeated in just 1 move without Subai even giving the little turtle any instruction. Subai started to get bored and asked for the next opponent, but even the 4th opponent was easily defeated by the little turtle. Subai didn't even look at the opponent and started taking selfies. After Subai's little turtle defeated the 5th opponent, the host came onto the arena and announced that Jiangzhou Martial University's Subai wins. The whole audience was shocked to see that Subai from Jiangzhou Martial University had been eating peanuts the entire time, relying on a turtle to fight in the ring, and still won. They had never seen such an unbridled contestant in their whole life. All the girls became Subai's fans. Waifu Yanran was also very happy seeing Subai win. Han Jian praised Subai's little turtle as it won 5 consecutive matches. Fan Chao gave Subai a nickname, 1 man, 5 wins. All the audience followed after Fan Chao and started calling Subai, 1 man, 5 wins. While leaving the arena, Subai felt very embarrassed when he heard what people were calling him. He wondered why it sounded so weird because it felt like he was being called a turtle. When Subai returned to his team, Instructor Fu patted his shoulder, telling him that he did well. The principal was also very happy seeing that Subai single-handedly defeated the formidable Qingshan Martial University, bringing great honor to their Jiangzhou Martial University. Subai thanked everyone for the praise. Then, Instructor Fu turned to everyone and told them to go rest for a bit because the morning matches were over. After the lunch break, they would continue with the second round. The principal told all the students that during the league, the cafeteria was open to all contestants for free. Everyone could go and enjoy the food to replenish their energy. Hearing that food was free of charge, Subai got very happy and immediately went to the cafeteria with his little turtle. While Subai was eating and resting, all the other universities were planning their strategies. At the Fuchuan Martial University Lounge, Fuchuan University's principal told his students that if they faced Jiangzhou Martial University in the next match, Jiangzhou University would likely send Subai again. A student asked the principal what they should do, because Subai's tamed beast was almost invincible in close combat. The principal pointed at a purple-haired boy named Mao Kai, telling him that if they really faced Jiangzhou Martial University, Mao Kai would have to handle Subai because he was their team captain and a poison-type user, so there was no need for close combat. Mao Kai agreed, saying when the time comes, he would keep his distance and use poison to take down Subai's turtle. On the other hand, at Shinmin Martial University Lounge, Shinmin University's principal asked his students not to be discouraged. He told them that Subai was strong, but his weaknesses were also very obvious. Finding the right opportunity to bypass his turtle's defense line and then defeating Subai was the only way to win. A student named Li Feng came forward saying, "The principal is right. If we face Subai this afternoon, I'll handle him." Actually, Zhang Xuan's strategy this morning was correct. It's just that she wasn't fast enough. Shinmin University's principal agreed with Li Feng, since Li Feng was a speed-focused fighter with enhanced combat skills. Shinmin University's principal told him to find the right moment to attack Subai. Then, after some time, the host came onto the area and complimented the morning matches, saying they were truly exciting. The students demonstrated spirited determination and a tenacious, fearless spirit. The host told the audience that the second round of the competition would begin shortly, and that they would proceed with a random draw. All the teams started to gather in the arena. Seeing the Jiangzhou Martial University team coming, a guy from the audience said, "I feel like the other members of Jiangzhou Martial University don't even need to compete this time. Subai alone can defeat all other schools. It's really great to have such a teammate." Hearing that, another guy from the audience laughed and told the first guy not to get complacent, because this is still within the province. Facing martial universities from other provinces, Jiangzhou Martial University will still be beaten so badly that it won't be able to hold its head up, he said. Students from Jiangzhou Martial University agreed with him, because Jiangzhou Martial University had always struggled to hold their heads up before. But now with Su Bai, they are even more irrelevant. While they were talking, the host announced the results of the second-round draw for the Provincial League. The first match was between Jiangzhou Martial University and Xinmin Martial University. The second match was between Fuchuan Martial University and Anyi Martial University. The third match was between Longying Martial University and Qingyun Martial University. And the fourth match was between Xichang Martial University and Jiangsu Martial University. The second round starts, and for the first match, Su Bai from Jiangzhou Martial University and Li Feng from Xinmin Martial University come onto the arena. Seeing Su Bai coming into the arena, Li Feng said, "As expected, Jiangzhou Martial University has sent Su Bai to take the lead. Luckily, we've already prepared a strategy specifically for him." Li Feng started stretching. When Su Bai, who was very relaxed, saw Li Feng stretching, he asked Li Feng not to be so nervous, telling him that he just had to endure for a bit, and it would be over soon. The host gave the signal, and the match began. Captain of Xinmin Martial University, Li Feng was a high-level bronze-rank hunter. He immediately got ready to attack, telling Su Bai not to be too arrogant. Li Feng used his clear wind step skill and charged at the little turtle. He was so fast that he created an afterimage. When the little turtle tried to attack, it could not touch Li Feng's afterimage, nor his real body. Li Feng got behind the little turtle and, with all his power, kicked the little turtle. But his attack didn't deal any damage to the little turtle. Li Feng was surprised to see that he couldn't even break through the little turtle's defense at all. The little turtle used its tail to attack Li Feng, but he jumped and dodged the little turtle's tail. This continued. The little turtle tried to attack Li Feng, but Li Feng easily dodged its attacks. People in the audience were surprised to see that the little turtle was unable to hit Li Feng. A guy laughed at the little turtle, asking others to look at how Su Bai's turtle seemed provoked by Li Feng and was angry, howling repeatedly. A girl asked her friend if Li Feng suddenly charged at Su Bai, would he have any chance of winning? Her friend told her that Li Feng might actually have a chance because right now Li Feng was just bullying Su Bai's turtle for being so dim-witted. The girls who were cheering for Su Bai before now started cheering for Li Feng, shouting, "Come on, Li Feng!" In the arena, Li Feng ran away from the little turtle, provoking it to chase him. Su Bai's seniors immediately realized that Li Feng was trying to lure the little turtle away from Su Bai. Instructor Fu started to get worried, wondering what Su Bai was doing and why he wasn't coming up with a solution. A senior looked closely and told Instructor Fu that it seemed like Su Bai was looking for something. Indeed, while the little turtle was fighting with Li Feng, Su Bai was looking for cola in his bag because his lunch had been a bit salty. He was very carefree and started drinking cola in the middle of the fight. Meanwhile, little by little, Li Feng was luring the little turtle away from Su Bai. The whole audience started cheering for Li Feng. After creating quite a bit of distance between the little turtle and Su Bai, Li Feng thought that at this distance, even a tail swipe wouldn't work. But when he turned around to attack Su Bai, he was shocked to see that Su Bai was drinking cola. He got very angry and charged at Su Bai, shouting, "Su Bai, you're looking down on me too much." Li Feng jumped to attack Su Bai, saying he would make him pay the price. Su Bai didn't even look at him and called his little turtle. Just as he called, a yellow light came towards Li Feng. Before Li Feng could hit Su Bai, his body turned yellow and froze in midair. Li Feng was shocked. He couldn't understand why he couldn't move. That yellow light came from the little turtle's black tortoise illusion form. Su Bai ordered the little turtle to stop playing around and hurry up to finish the battle. The little turtle brought Li Feng near itself, then used its black tortoise gravity, and started collecting energy into its mouth. Seeing the little turtle collecting energy, Li Feng got scared and asked Su Bai to wait, wondering what he was going to do. But Su Bai's little turtle didn't stop and shot an energy beam from its mouth, which hit Li Feng and sent him flying, crashing into the stadium. Li Feng hit the stadium wall so hard that it created a hole in the wall. The little turtle's attack was too powerful, and seeing that, the whole audience was shocked. The guys who were laughing at the little turtle finally understood that it wasn't that Li Feng wasn't strong enough. It was that Su Bai was just too overpowered. A guy commented that if it was him, he would just surrender right away when facing Su Bai. How can one even fight against him? Seeing Li Feng's condition, a girl from his team asked their principal what they should do, because Li Feng had already been injured so badly. Left with no choice, Xinmin Martial University's principal decided to just give up. After a few minutes, the host came and announced that, unfortunately, facing the powerful opponent Su Bai from Jiangzhou Martial University, Xinmin Martial University had chosen to forfeit. He announced that the next university to face off against Jiangzhou Martial University is Fuchuan Martial University. The audience was surprised to hear the announcement, wondering how Shinmin Martial University could forfeit without even fighting. But deep down, they all understood that Subai was indeed too strong. So forfeiting was better than being humiliated in vain. Hearing that Shinmin had voluntarily forfeited, Instructor Fu said, Subai can conserve his strength for Fuchuan now. Hearing that, one of Subai's seniors got annoyed and asked Instructor Fu where Subai even needed to save his strength, as he had not even moved a muscle to fight. Another of Subai's seniors told the others that this next fight was going to be interesting, because the captain of Fuchuan is a poison-type user, so it won't be so easy to deal with him. Then, after a few minutes, Subai from Zhangzhou Martial University and Mao Kai from Fuchuan Martial University entered the arena. But just as the match began, Mao Kai asked Subai to wait, saying, "Let's not rush to fight yet." Mao Kai was a mid-level bronze rank hunter. While hiding one hand behind his back, Mao Kai walked towards Subai and said, "Subai, I admit you're very strong, and I know I'm no match for you. So how about we make a deal?" Subai, who was drinking cola, was surprised to hear Mao Kai and asked him what deal he was talking about. Mao Kai walked a little closer to Subai, telling him that he admits he might not be Subai's match in this round, but he really wants to discuss beast taming with him. Subai became very confused, hearing that Mao Kai wanted to discuss beast taming with him. He could not understand what Mao Kai was up to. On the other hand, Mao Kai, while hiding one hand behind, was continuously mobilizing his poison elements. It didn't take too long for Subai to realize that Mao Kai was trying to stall for time, because it takes a long time for poison-type ability users to mobilize their elements. Subai immediately ordered his little turtle to attack. Seeing the little turtle coming to attack, Mao Kai realized that Subai had figured out his plan, but it was too late. Mao Kai had already mobilized his poison element. He threw poison fog towards the little turtle, telling Subai that even a divine beast can't escape his poison fog. The poison fog immediately surrounded the little turtle and moved towards Subai. Seeing the poison fog coming, Subai realized there was no way to dodge this. A senior from Subai's team panicked, saying, "Subai is too careless. I heard that Mao Kai poisoned quite a few high-level beasts in the previous trials." Instructor Fu also panicked, seeing Subai in danger and asking what they should do. However, Subai's principal was calm and told others not to panic because the match wasn't over yet. When the poison fog hit, the little turtle immediately held its breath and closed its eyes. The little turtle could not see in the poison fog, but Mao Kai was unaffected. While smiling, he passed through the little turtle easily, thinking, "Subai, let's see how long you can last in my poison fog. You were too careless. Once I release my poisonous fog, the match is over." When Mao Kai walked past the little turtle, he saw Subai's shadow sitting on the ground. He realized that Subai was meditating to resist the poison fog. But Subai was not just facing poison fog. Mao Kai took out his poison claws and then jumped high to attack Subai. But before his poison claws could even touch Subai, a shield appeared and blocked his attack. Subai smiled, seeing a sneak attack from behind in the poison fog, and said, "Mao Kai, too bad that you ran into me." Mao Kai was shocked, wondering how this was possible. As a beast tamer, how could Subai withstand his full-powered poison claw attack in the poison fog? Subai's principal was shocked to see Subai use shared origin. Confused, Instructor Fu asked the principal what shared origin was. The principal told her that it is a high-level beast tamer talent. The principal was surprised to see that Subai could already transfer the beast's defense onto himself. In the arena, after blocking Mao Kai's attack, Subai said, "Let's end this quickly because this poison fog stinks." Just as he said that, the little turtle turned around and looked at Mao Kai. Seeing the little turtle's red glowing eyes, Mao Kai became very scared because his location had been exposed. The little turtle didn't even give Mao Kai a chance to react and attacked with its claws, sending him flying out of the arena. Seeing Subai win, Fan Chao jumped in happiness, shouting, "Brother Su is insane. He sent the poison ability user flying out of the poison fog." Waifu Yanran was also very happy, but seeing how powerful Subai had become, she said that she wouldn't let Subai get too far ahead of her. The whole audience started cheering for Subai and his turtle, calling him, "One man, 5 wins." The host then appeared on the big screen and announced that since student Mao Kai of Fuchuan Martial University was unable to continue fighting, Fuchuan Martial University had also chosen to forfeit. The winner of this provincial league is Zhangzhou Martial University's Subai. After winning the competition, Subai was very happy and proud of his beast, Little Turtle. He patted the little turtle, saying it was time to wrap up. When Subai came down from the arena, his principal praised him, telling him that he had brought honor to Zhangzhou Martial University this time. "Well done," he said. Hearing his principal's praise, Subai asked the principal if, in that case, he could get some more medicine resources. Hearing that, the principal understood that Subai was trying to take advantage of him again, but he wouldn't fall for it so easily. The principal tried to change the topic and pointed at Subai's seniors, telling them that since Jiangzhou Martial University won the provincial league, the military would award them with military merit points, and they could exchange them for resources at the logistics department. Hearing that, an annoyed senior asked the principal if, since they only sent out Subai, the military merit points had anything to do with them. The principal was at a loss for words hearing that, and he changed the topic again, saying, "In 3 days, we'll be heading to Luo City to participate in the All Warzone League. Do you have confidence?" Subai immediately replied that they do have confidence. Hearing that, the principal said, "Good." He turned around and said, "Since everyone's tired, go back and have a good rest to prepare for the Warzone League in 3 days." Subai tried calling the principal again to ask him about the resources, but the principal didn't even look back, and, while leaving, told Subai that he was looking forward to seeing his outstanding performance in 3 days. Seeing the principal running away, Subai called him an old fox, because he runs so fast when it comes to resources. Then, after some time, it was telecast on the news that the Provincial League of the 100 Schools League had now concluded. The top 3 were Imperial Capital Martial University, Magic City Martial University, and Great Wall Guard Martial University. Many talented individuals performed exceptionally well in this league, but the most dazzling of them was Subai from Jiangzhou Martial University, who, winning all 3 matches 1 versus 5, secured the overall championship for Jiangzhou Province. Students of Jiangzhou Martial University were amazed to see that Subai was in the news again. Now those fangirls really wanted to meet him. Meanwhile, Subai went to his university's training room. He was happy to finally find a quiet place. He took out his little cat from his bag, telling it that he knew it was eager, but there would definitely be a chance for it to go on stage later. Subai exchanged his military merit points for 4 high-grade silver beast cores. He showed them to the little cat, telling it to eat them sparingly. He first gave 1 core to the little cat, and seeing that core, the little cat's eyes lit up, and it immediately ate the core. Just as the little cat ate the core, its whole body started shining, releasing yellow energy. Subai immediately received a system notification informing him that his ordinary high-grade common bronze rank cat had upgraded to a sharp gold white tiger. The little cat's sacred beast, white tiger bloodline was activated, and it acquired the sharp gold gale talent. Subai was amazed to see that his little cat leveled up after eating just 1 core, and that its white tiger bloodline had been activated. Subai immediately gave the other 3 remaining beast cores to his little cat, telling it to eat a few more. Seeing the 3 more cores, the little cat jumped in happiness and started eating them immediately. Subai told it to eat slowly, saying, "No one's going to steal them from you." Subai thought that after eating these, his little cat should be able to level up again. However, after the little cat ate those 3 cores, there was no change. Subai was very confused, seeing that his little cat had eaten all of them, and there was no reaction. He wondered if those high-grade silver beast cores were fake, but suddenly, the little cat's whole body started shining again in yellow light, but this time, the light was 10 times stronger than the first time. When the light stopped, Subai was too shocked to see his little cat. The little cat's body had transformed completely. It grew bigger than Subai's height, and looked even more amazing. Seeing that, Subai thought it was way cooler than Little Turtle's transformation. A notification informed Subai that his sharp gold white tiger had upgraded to the intermediate bronze level. Immediately, Subai checked his little cat's status window. The little cat had leveled up to the intermediate bronze level. Its white tiger bloodline had been activated 30%. All its attributes had greatly improved, and its talents had been enhanced. Currently, its constitution was 158, defense was 105, agility was 295, and spirit was 60. The little cat has 3 talents. The first talent is Sharp Gold Claws, which consumes a certain amount of physical energy to launch 100 attacks on a single enemy in a very short period of time. The first attack power is 150% of the basic attack value, and after each attack, the amplitude of the next attack increases by 2%. The second talent is Sharp Gold Spirit, which consumes a certain amount of energy to cover the whole body with sharp gold energy. Each attack has a 200% tearing effect. It can be used in combination with the Sharp Gold Claws to greatly increase the damage caused by the Sharp Gold Claws. The third talent is Sharp Gold Ghost, which consumes a large amount of physical energy, causing the movement speed and attack speed to increase by 300%. It can be used in combination with Sharp Gold Claws, allowing Sharp Gold Claws to complete 100 attacks instantly. Seeing the little cat's status window, Subai became very happy, saying it was worth giving the little cat 4 high-grade silver beast cores because these stats are insane. Subai petted the little cat, telling it that he was counting on it for the Warzone League. The little cat became very happy to hear that and hugged Subai. Meanwhile, at the Imperial capital where the Warzone League is going to be held in 3 days, in a huge mansion, a man watching Subai's match on the television said, "This Subai is interesting. It seems he has a lot of secrets." That man ordered his subordinate to go and investigate Subai, saying, "Maybe his turtle is even more ridiculous than Luo fans back then." His subordinate said yes and left. 3 days later, at the Luohe Martial University competition venue, teams from across the country arrived for the competition. They were all amazed by the venue, commenting, "As expected of Luohe Martial University, their competition venue is several times larger than others." When Subai and his team entered the venue, they saw the whole audience cheering for Luohe Martial University to claim the championship. Subai and his seniors were confused to see everyone cheering for Luohe Martial University. The principal of Jiangzhou Martial University told Subai and others that Luohe Martial University was trying to intimidate them. While walking, Subai noticed an empty area and asked his principal why it was there. The principal explained that only 9 martial universities were participating this time, and 1 university had voluntarily forfeited. Subai asked the principal if that meant 1 university would have a bye during the random draw. The principal confirmed this and said it all came down to luck. Whoever got the bye would advance directly to the next round. Hearing this, Subai prayed to God that they wouldn't get the bye during the draw later, because he was counting on playing more matches to earn military contributions to feed his turtle and cat. One of Subai's seniors stepped forward and asked the principal to please allow him to participate this time no matter what. Hearing this, other seniors also stepped forward, requesting to participate. Subai was shocked to see that all of them wanted to participate. The principal laughed and reassured all the seniors, saying, "This time, all of you will have the opportunity to compete." Walking towards their university's area, the principal asked them to wait for Subai to draw lots first. A few minutes later, when the draw was complete, the host appeared on the big screen to announce the matchups. The first match was between Luohe Martial University and Fuchuan Martial University, and the university with a bye this round was Jiangzhou Martial University. Subai was too shocked to hear that because now he would get fewer chances to fight. Subai's principal laughed, telling him that he was truly their lucky charm. Instructor Fu was also very happy as they skipped the first round and went straight to the next, but only Subai was sad, wondering why he was so unlucky to have drawn the bye, because he wanted to compete. Then, after a few minutes, the first round matches began. Students from both Luohe Martial University and Fuchuan Martial University came onto the arena. When the match began, Fuchuan Martial University's contestant struggled to hold on, as Luohe Martial University's contestant pressed the attack. 2 hours later, the host came onto the big screen, announcing that the first round quarterfinals had concluded, and now they would announce the results of the second round draw. But when the host saw the draw results, she was shocked herself. She announced that the university with a bye this round was still Jiangzhou Martial University. Hearing this, people in the audience were very shocked, asking what was going on, and if there was some kind of shady business happening. A guy asked, "What kind of luck is this? Jiangzhou Martial University hasn't done anything. Just sitting in the audience watching the matches." Another guy said he traveled all this way just to watch Subai sitting in the ring, eating peanuts and drinking cola. So one bye is understandable, but why a second time too? A girl suggested that perhaps Luohe Martial University is afraid of facing Subai directly, so they deliberately gave Jiangzhou Martial University a bye. Others in the audience agreed with the girl, saying the competition system is unfair. How could such a strong competitor like Subai keep getting a bye? This is disrespectful to the opponents. Hearing the audience's complaints, a representative from the military came forward to clarify that after a thorough inspection, there is no evidence of any bias or foul play by Jiangzhou Martial University, and the competition will continue. Hearing the announcement, Subai's principal became very happy, because this meant they had ranked 3rd in this competition zone, and as long as they win one more match, they can participate in the final of the 5 major competition zones. On the other hand, Subai was shocked, asking, "How is it another bye? Can't they let me compete?" Then, 1 hour later, a host announced that the exciting moment was coming soon. The final match of this round's competition zone was about to begin. The next match is Jiangzhou Martial University versus Lanzi Martial University. But even when it was Jiangzhou Martial University and Lanzi Martial Universities competing, people from Luohe Martial Universities were cheering for Luohe. When it was finally Jiangzhou Martial University's turn, all of Subai's seniors surrounded the principal, asking him to let them go first this time. The principal asked everyone to please calm down, saying, "Although we have been very lucky, we still can't be complacent." The principal pointed at Luo Yonghao and Bai Ningbing, telling them to go up first and second. After them, Wang Qingqing would go, then Hu Qingshu, and then Su Bai would go last for the grand finale. Hearing the principal's fight order, all the seniors became very happy and excited, saying, "All right, principal, we'll definitely bring glory to the school." Only Su Bai was disappointed, because it looked like there was no chance for him in this match. When the match began, Luo Yonghao went first into the arena. He tried to take on a bronze mid-level opponent with his bronze low-level strength, and, in the end, he lost narrowly. Next, Bai Ningbing stepped onto the stage, and immediately went into a berserk state, completely abandoning defense and fighting recklessly. He actually forced his opponent to retreat continuously, and Jiangzhou Martial University won. Next up was Wang Qingqing, the school beauty, who showed that her combat skills were no joke with a soft whip technique that combined both offense and defense. She sent her opponent flying out of the ring, giving Jiangzhou Martial University another win. Instructor Fu was very happy to see that they won again, because now they only needed to win one more match to win this round. Seeing the other students, Su Bai's principal felt like their strength had skyrocketed. He wondered if it could be that Su Bai had influenced them. On the other hand, Su Bai was crying inside because his seniors were taking all the military contributions. He wondered when it would finally be his turn. Then, for the next match, Hu Qingshu from Jiangzhou Martial University entered the arena. When he entered, he invited the two remaining students from Lanza Martial University to come together, saying it would save him time. Hearing this, the students from Lanza Martial University became very angry, warning Hu Qingshu not to get too cocky, otherwise, he would lose miserably. However, the host informed everyone that the competition rules allow one person to challenge multiple opponents at the same time. Hearing this, both students from Lanza Martial University came onto the stage, and the match began. As the match started, Hu Qingshu closed his eyes and concentrated all his energy into one point. Suddenly, a huge spiritual tree appeared behind Hu Qingshu. This was a wood-type supernatural ability. With one swing of his finger, Hu Qingshu shot the leaves of the huge spiritual tree toward the students of Lanza University. When the tree leaves touched the students, they cut their skin. Both students were surprised by the attack. One senior student cautioned the other to be careful, noting that the leaves were suspicious, and just to hold on, as Hu Qingshu's psychic power wouldn't last much longer. Su Bai was surprised that a wood-type user could summon a millennium-old maple tree like this. He admitted that Hu Qingshu's psychic power was pretty terrifying. Even Su Bai's principal was impressed, seeing that Qingshu's strength had increased again. The principal thought that Hu Qingshu was truly living up to being from that family. People in the audience were also amazed, commenting that the current batch of Jiangzhou University was truly full of hidden talents, with one dark horse after another emerging. Even senior Hu Qingshu was this strong, but a guy from the audience commented that he still thought Su Bai was stronger. After all, his tamed beast had already defeated a golden-ranked one. On the other hand, Hu Qingshu's leaf attack was getting stronger by the second. The two students of Lanza University were struggling in the middle of that leaf attack, starting to panic because there were no signs of weakening in Hu Qingshu's attack. To end the match, Hu Qingshu collected hundreds of leaves together and shot them at the students of Lanza University to break through. In that attack, both students of Lanza University went flying without even being able to defend. Both of them fell out of the arena and lost consciousness. The host announced that in this round's competition, Jiangzhou Martial University won. On the other hand, Luohe Martial University also won their match. The host congratulated Jiangzhou Martial University and Luohe Martial University for advancing to the national finals. After winning, Hu Qingshu returned to his university's venue, where the principal praised him, telling him that his performance this time surprised everyone. Hu Qingshu thanked his principal, who then told everyone that the real hero of this competition was still Su Bai. Su Bai was shocked to hear that he was a hero. He thought the principal was making fun of him for not being able to go on stage. The principal explained that if it weren't for Su Bai getting 2 consecutive buys in the draws, they wouldn't have won so easily. Everyone was at a loss for words. The principal then told them that since they were all exhausted, they should get some rest and be ready, because 1 week from now, they would be heading to the national finals. He informed the students that this time, in addition to the military contribution rewards earned by each student in the competition, the school would provide extra resources as training rewards. Su Bai was shocked to hear that because he was coming back empty-handed this time. He had to figure out how to gather some resources to feed those 2 gluttons. On the other hand, Su Bai's seniors became very happy hearing the principal and started cheering, saying, "Long live the principal." Meanwhile, at the Lin family mansion of waifu Yanren, while she was practicing with some robots, her uncle Wen came to tell her that it was time to eat. Yanren, while practicing, kicked a robot and sent it flying. She then turned to her uncle and told him that she wasn't hungry yet and wanted to practice for another hour. Hearing this, Uncle Wen sighed because ever since Subai participated in the 100 Schools League, all Yanren did every day was watch Subai's matches and practice like crazy, completely ignoring the balance between work and rest. Suddenly, Yanren called to her Uncle Wen, telling him that the pills he gave her were almost used up, and asked if he could help her ask her father for some more because she wanted to increase her strength as quickly as possible. Her uncle said, "Okay," and left. He was very annoyed because many top families in the imperial capital had proposed marriages to Yanren, but she rejected them all with a single word. Her uncle was worried, wondering what kind of potion Subai had given her. 7 days later, Subai and his team arrived at Magic City. When they reached the university, all the seniors were amazed to see a huge golden gate. Examining the gate closely, a senior asked if the university gate was made of solid gold because it was sparkling. Another senior commented that it was just too luxurious. However, Subai was not impressed by the gate and said, "This gate alone must have cost billions. What a waste." The principal told Subai that it cost more than just billions. The materials alone cost 1.8 billion. Not to mention that the gate was built in 1 day by 20 gold level and 5 platinum level experts working together. The principal asked Subai to look at the motto of Magic City Martial Arts University and this grand gate, explaining that it's all meant to showcase the spirit that only the strong can protect the nation. While they were talking, a black-haired man came to welcome the students from Jiangzhou Martial Arts University. The man greeted Principal Zhou and introduced himself as Zhang Ming, the vice president of the student council at Magic City Martial Arts University. Zhang welcomed them into Magic City Martial Arts University and asked them to please follow him. The principal agreed, and they started following Zhang. While walking, a senior told another senior that Magic City Martial Arts University sure knows how to put on airs. Their principal traveled all the way here in person, and they only sent a student council vice president to greet us, he said. Another senior agreed, saying if it were someone from Imperial City Martial Arts University, their principal would come out personally to welcome them. While going towards their rooms, Subai noticed a huge building on the campus and asked his principal what it was. The principal told Subai that it was the Gravity Adjustment Training Ground. Hearing that, Subai said that if their academy had one of those, they could train at least 100 silver-level students every year. Subai's words struck the principal in the heart. Eventually, everyone arrived at the hotel. Zhang told Subai and his team that this was the hotel where they would be staying and dining. Zhang mentioned that the first floor offers a 24-hour buffet, and all the ingredients are meat from ferocious beasts of various species, cooked by top chefs. He added that it's very beneficial for enhancing a martial artist's blood energy, and there's no limit to how much they can eat. Subai again asked Zhang if it was really unlimited. Zhang assured him that, since they had come from far away, Magic City Martial Arts University wouldn't let them go hungry. They could eat to their heart's content. Hearing that, Subai jumped in happiness and immediately ran towards the buffet, telling his little turtle and cat that they were in for a feast. Surprised by Subai's enthusiasm, Zhang asked his principal if Subai was starving. A senior told Zhang that they could not imagine how much Subai's turtle could eat. Another senior worriedly said to the others that if Subai went in, there might not be anything left for them to eat. Hearing that, all the seniors hurried to the buffet, or they would go hungry that night. Seeing them like that, Zhang was at a loss for words. The principal laughed and said, "Young people, so full of energy." The next day, when Subai's team entered the competition venue, they were surprised to see how big it was. A senior commented that the competition venue at Magic City was really on another level. She had only ever seen such a large venue on TV. Subai's principal was already at the venue, and asked all his students to stop acting like they had never seen the world before. He then explained the competition rules to them, mentioning that this final tournament features martial arts universities from 13 schools competing. The Great Wall Guards Military Academy, being directly under the military, automatically enters the top 4, so there would be no buys. Surprised, a senior asked the principal why the Great Wall Guards Military Academy got a free pass to the top 4. Other seniors agreed, saying it was so unfair. The principal explained that it was because the Great Wall Guards Military Academy is a military genius training base, and the only martial arts university located on the front lines of the battlefield against the multiracial invaders. The seniors were shocked to hear about a military genius training base, and even Subai was surprised to hear about an academy located on the front lines of the battlefield, commenting that it was intense. The principal told them that this is why the national finals are full of hidden talents, and he instructed his students to never underestimate anyone. He decided to let Subai take the lead, with Hu Qingshu as the anchor. The whole team understood the plan and cheered, confident that Jiangzhou Martial Arts University would win. Sometime later, the host appeared on the big screen, asking all the teachers and students to please settle down, because the 100-school competition finals were about to begin. She then announced the draw for the first round of matches. The first match was between Jiangzhou Martial Arts University and Yokohama Martial Arts University. The second match was between Imperial City Martial Arts University and East China Martial Arts University. The third match was between Magic City Martial Arts University and Nanjing Martial Arts University. These three matches would happen simultaneously. Seeing the draw, Subai's principal said their luck wasn't bad, as they hadn't drawn any of the top 3 universities in the first round. A senior said Yokohama Martial Arts University was about on par with them, and asked the principal to let him go first. But before the principal could say anything, Subai intervened, saying he would go first because he wanted all the schools to know Jiangzhou Martial Arts University's attitude. However, it was a straight lie because he just wanted to earn military merit for himself. Students from both universities entered the arena, and the match began. When they entered, a student from Yokohama University immediately mocked Subai, saying, "Subai, your university making it to the finals is already impressive enough, but this is the end of the road for you." Subai completely ignored the student and opened his bag to take out the little turtle, telling it, "Let's finish this quickly." The little turtle came out of the bag and immediately transformed, roaring loudly into the arena. New people in the audience were surprised to see that Jiangzhou Martial Arts University actually sent a beast tamer to compete. Those who had seen the little turtle before were amazed to see that it looked even bigger than before. Everyone was very excited, thinking this was going to be good. On the other hand, after seeing the size of the little turtle, the student from Yokohama Martial Arts University got very scared and exclaimed, "This is way too big. This has to be cheating. I don't accept this." But before he could complete his words, the little turtle hit the student and sent him flying out of the arena. The little turtle had already defeated the student, and Subai was still pulling out his chair to sit down and eat. Seeing the student defeated, Subai acted surprised and said, "You're that weak? I haven't even started eating my peanuts yet." The student from Yokohama Martial University thought that beast tamers were supposed to be weak, but was shocked to find that beast tamers are handling martial artists as if it's nothing. Seeing Subai take out a chain, a girl from the audience said, "This is the national finals, and Subai actually brought a small stool. Isn't that too disrespectful?" Hearing the girl, a guy sitting beside her asked if she had not watched Subai's previous matches. He told her that Subai's turtle has insane defense and strength, definitely at the silver level, and if one had a beast like that, he would be crushing bronze-level martial artists as if it's nothing. Meanwhile, in the arena, another student from Yokohama Martial University came in. Seeing Subai sitting on a chain and eating peanuts, the student became very angry, telling Subai that he was humiliating them. She jumped towards Subai shouting that she would make him pay, but Subai completely ignored her and continued reading his comic, saying, "This comic is really good." When the girl got near Subai, the little turtle shot an energy beam from its mouth and sent the girl flying. The host announced, "Jiangzhou Martial Arts University's Subai wins." Seeing that Subai not only snacks on peanuts but even brought his own stool, a senior of Subai asked if this was the attitude he was talking about. Seeing this, Subai's principal sighed, saying, "Subai really doesn't know how to keep a low profile. Humiliating his opponent like this is not good. Now how am I supposed to face Yokohama Martial Arts University's Principal Chen after this?" Though he was saying this, he was very happy inside. Hu Qingshu warned his principal not to celebrate too early, because Subai might meet a real challenge soon. He pointed at a different arena and asked the principal if the red-haired boy was the team captain from Imperial City Martial Arts University. The principal looked into that arena, where a red-haired boy from Imperial City Martial Arts University and a boy wearing a mask were fighting. The masked boy jumped to attack the red-haired boy, and when he hit, there was suddenly a huge explosion. When the smoke cleared, the masked boy was on the ground, and it was announced that Imperial City Martial Arts University wins. The red-haired boy, a flame user, apologized to his opponent, saying he hit a little too hard. Seeing that red-haired boy, Subai's principal felt a little nervous, because that boy was a fire attribute martial artist, and he's at the peak of the silver level. Seeing a silver-level fire attribute martial artist, Subai's seniors were shocked, asking, "Is this the terrifying strength of Imperial City Martial Arts University?" Hu Qingshu told the other seniors that if the Great Wall Guard's military academy doesn't step in, only Magic City Martial Arts University might be able to match them. That's all for today, everyone. Before we wrap up, I want to let you know that we've recently launched a membership program here, where you can enjoy perks like early access to videos and soon, exclusive content just for members. You'll also receive custom badges and emojis to enhance your interactions. If you're interested, consider joining our membership to enjoy these benefits. Check out the link in the description to join. See you all in the next video.